Sup, sobers? All right, we are sobering up. Let's see what we got. What up, what
Diddy
up, what
and
up?
Cassie?
I don't know if there's anybody
like,
in here, but
no.
what
Did you
is
took my
up?
camera out and took a picture of Diddy chasing Cassie? No. And
This is
you say you
backwards.
and Cassie got on a paddleboard and paddleboarded into a storm? Yep. But you don't have any recordings of that either, do you? She's like,
Yo,
from the
sup,
paddleboard?
goobers?
No.
Love it. I call
Any
my kid a
note or
goober all
text
the
messages
time.
that prove it happened? Mia's like, I don't think so. We were on a paddleboard, Brian. Did you make that story up? No.
All right, I'm just struggling to move this.
Brian is stalling, they're saying. Okay, let's see.
Why don't you come back over here? I don't understand. Sorry, I'm just struggling. All right, let's forget this. I'm just going to open a new window. I don't know why it's being difficult. And we'll bring this one over here, right? I don't want a mirror. Sorry, my computer's being really dumb right now. Okay, well then we'll just switch it up. How about that? Story is getting darker and darker. That is 100% true. And from what I've been listening to and watching this morning, it seems like Diddy's lawyers are just like, I don't know, just like badgering the witnesses. But definitely getting darker and darker. I would agree with that. What's going on here? All right, Inner City Press, what you got? All right, okay, here we are. I was kind of listening to, yeah, it's not good for the defense for sure, and it seems like Diddy's money is just getting wasted, like just thrown down the tube. But I don't know what good that's supposed to do for the defense. It seems like they're just hounding these witnesses, trying to get like really specific points out of them. What up, Banna? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but good afternoon, good evening as well. We're still talking to Mia, which is like a fake name because she didn't want to release her real name, but it's a former personal assistant to Diddy. This is the most recent update right here, I think. Wait, is it this one? I don't know. Either way, let's see. Combs of Steel says, you had times with others, right? Mia says, I had to be in communication 24/7. I was never outside his grip. Outside of the work environment, why couldn't you explain the abuse you say you were experiencing? It's more complicated than that. Yeah, and from what I understand, this girl was like, I really don't ever want to talk about it. Like, I don't ever want to come forward about it. She never planned to come forward. Yeah. 9 a.m. for millennials. Damn, nice. Okay, so you're behind me. What do we got? Let's see. All right, okay, cool. Yeah, there's no stream to do on Rumble. Now it's freaking out. What is this, though? Is this the most recent? No. Isn't it true that Isn't it true that other than the few times Mr. Combs was violent with Miss Ventura, which is never okay, you were comfortable with Mr. Combs? You'd have to rephrase. You never advised Miss Ventura to leave him. No. Okay. It's been Mia. Whoa. Whoa. Wonder how many car crashes have happened because people sneezed. Okay, well, this is super annoying. OBS just froze. Thanks a lot, Rumble. Objection. Okay, wait. Until 2024, you never told anyone that you were abused. Unless it was to my privileged therapist. That's true. Steele says, could you waive that privilege? Objection. Move on. You joined the Me Too money grab against Mr. Combs. Oh, that's pretty ballsy. Objection. Of course. Of course an objection. You knew Miss Ventura received money from her lawsuit against Mr. Combs. It was public. But you speak with Miss Ventura? Never about anything I discussed with the government. How would we know that? What's the purpose of this? Yeah, she definitely got money from her lawsuit. They're trying to make it seem like a money grab. You speak with Miss Ventura, so they're trying to paint it as like, oh, they're colluding against P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love Combs, trying to get that bag from him. Basically, that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, that's a little better. I like that one. Right now, my freaking OBS is crashed. So let me see if I can... Fuck, dude. Technical difficulties, man. I don't feel like they already did lunch, did they? There's no way they did lunch. They must have done lunch because I don't feel like they've... They've back. Break. Looks like a small break, but it doesn't seem like a lunch break. Common fucking sense. Literally, SpongeBob is one of the best cartoons ever made. Okay, well, let me, might have to quit and come back. Okay, I think we're back. And we're live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Oh, that shit's crazy, dude. Sorry, I don't know what the hell. OBS can be a little glitchy. It's free, so I can't complain. Yeah, what is it with this window? This window is just, like, locked or something. Well, we're going to close it then. We're going to start fresh. That's what we're going to do. It's still pulled up. Damn. That page is like pervasive, persistent. Okay. All right. It really doesn't want to leave. It must be docked somehow. Okay. All right. But we're back. And we're back. Well, we'll just flip-flop it around. That's fine. I'll figure it out later. Oh, the DMX video is one of my best ones. That's like he's a highly underrated human being. And that was such a good episode, seriously. Well, thanks for joining me over here, Katie. We're just checking out Diddy stuff. We're seeing what the hell is going on in this Diddy trial because there's a lot going on. Okay, look. Are they doing lunch now? Okay, yep, they're doing lunch now. Nice. I actually hit it at the right time. Oh, dude, It's Dark and Hell is Hot is a good album. It's one of those albums that my mom would buy me regularly, like DMX stuff, not realizing what she was buying. I don't think. She did buy me the edited version for a couple years, and then I was like, nah, mom, come on. Come on, ma. So yeah, DMX got me through some childhood years too. Oh, you're good, Auntie M. Honestly, I kind of just started. I was really just trying to hit it at the lunch break because my goal is to like catch us up during the lunch break so we don't really miss anything, and then we can keep updated as we go forth. But, that's the plan. Do things always go as planned? Not really. You weren't allowed to have the explicit version, so your older bro snuck it to you. What a good older bro. That's the way to do it. Gotta stick with your siblings, man. My brother was the opposite. I tried so hard to get him to like my music and like do shit that I liked so that we could be closer. And he would just rat on me all the time to my mom. And so that was kind of frustrating. Initially drove us further apart, but eventually, I don't know. Eventually we both fell into the same stuff anyways. It's kind of funny actually. We have a third friend. He's like our both of our brothers or brother. What? He's like a third brother, second brother. Whatever. But his name's Matty, and oh snap, OD, damn, that's super sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Especially on this channel. We've lost too many good ones to fucking different drugs. It's just like, it's fucked. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. It makes me sad. But my brother and I have this friend named Maddie, and he's dating this girl named Madison, who also goes by Maddie, which I think is really funny. That's true. He's happy now, and he's not struggling or suffering anymore, so I think that's true. But Maddie lives super far away. He lives like, well, I guess not super far away. He's not in a different state. He just lives in a different city, like 3 hours north of us, so we don't see him as much. But Matt was my friend when I was a senior. Like, I was just drawn to this kid for some reason. He was a freshman, and I just was like, this kid is so cool. Like, he wears metal band t-shirts. He's got super long hair. He's super reserved and quiet, but we both had study hall together. And I was just like, I feel like I, for some reason, just want to make this kid my friend. I don't know why. So I worked super hard to try and convince him to be my friend. And he finally agreed to it. We finally started hanging out, going to metal shows and stuff. And eventually what ended up happening was that my brother became good friends with Maddie once I graduated. And once I was gone, him and Maddie would hang out all the time. And since Maddie and I were still friends, we'd still go to shows and stuff together. He would actually bring Haas, my little brother, along eventually. And that's how me and my brother ended up hanging out. So like, kind of in a roundabout way, Maddie is like the key, but he's the glue that molds us together. And so that's why he's kind of like he's like the third brother. Okay, let's see what we got going on before we got here. Let's see what happened. Has anybody kept up on what's going on? I missed last week because I was at that wedding. So honestly don't know what the hell happened in the trial. I feel like not very much because literally brother from another mother, that's exactly what we call him. That's so funny. But I feel like I haven't kept up on anything, so I really don't know who testified last week. But I heard that Mia was on the stand for a while, and I think on Friday, for sure on Friday. And then so far she's been on the stand all morning this morning, is what it seems like. So, but we're on the defense cross on this witness, so we're getting close to the end of Mia. But let's catch up a little bit and see. Really just procrastinating? Yeah, it does feel like, it's like, are they just killing time? Like, that's what it feels like. They're just like killing time. I don't really know what the fuck's going on anymore. Let's see what we got going on. Before the jury comes in, the judge is talking to Mr. Steele. How much longer do you have on cross? Because obviously they've been going at this since Friday. Steele says, at least until lunch, maybe after. We're not going to have 15 more Instagram posts. Steele says, I can't promise that. What's the deal with the Instagram posts? Chicken or beef ramen? That's freaking hilarious. Definitely chicken, though. Let's see. Judge says, defense on the elevator hallway video. You were objecting to showing the versions that we discussed. Elevator hallway video. Is that the one where he hits Cassie? Haven't we seen that like 1,500 times by now? Yes, it shows Mr. Combs running 30% faster than really happened. It's prejudicial. We let prosecution Smizer know how we will cross the expert. I feel like there's so many different names. Like every day we go through this trial, we get a new prosecutor and defense attorney name. We're like, where'd this person come from? Let's have Mr. Garcia. Garcia enters the courtroom. Did you receive a subpoena to testify at this trial? Yes. Do you intend to invoke your Fifth Amendment rights? Yes. Have you seen the proposed immunity order? Yes. Who is Mr. Garcia? Sorry, oh, you guys can see that. Cool. I was like, I'm asking Grok what the fuck is up. Sup, sobers? What up, Chandra? Good to see you. Is it Chandra or Chandra? It's kind of the same question with, is it Colorado or Colorado? We call it Colorado because it's rad as fuck. So, but that's a personal thing. Eddie Garcia, former security guard at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles. On day 14 of the Combs trafficking and racketeering trial, which took place around mid-2025. That's still happening, Grok. Eddie Garcia is one of the upcoming witnesses expected to testify. He was a security guard at the hotel. He responded to a report of a woman in distress and found Combs and his then-girlfriend Cassie in the elevator vestibule on the 6th floor. Garcia testified that he noticed Ventura had a purple eye, described Combs giving him a devilish stare. After escorting Ventura out of the hotel, Garcia claims Combs attempted to bribe him with a stack of cash, later reported as $100,000 in a brown paper envelope, to obtain security footage that captured Combs assaulting Ventura in the hallway. Garcia declined the bribe, and the footage later became a key piece of evidence in the trial, shown to the jury earlier in the proceedings. I thought that was a different guy. I thought that was that David guy that testified. David, the first witness. I thought that was him. Like Calgary or Calgary, yeah, or Calgary or Calgary or... That's an interesting one. Andra. I feel like that doesn't clear it up for me. Still, it could, because it could be Andra. I think it's more like the Anders or Anders from Workaholics, if you guys watch that. What up? Good morning, Deb. Sup, sobers? Velvet Lava. Oh, yeah, I know. The first week, you were able to keep up 100%. You miss one day, and since then, you feel like you can't keep up with all the new people. I'm totally with you. Okay, like chandelier. Okay, so it is Chandra. Okay, nice. That's a good one. That helps. Although I did read it right earlier. Andra. So, no, you're totally right. Saw Joe. What's up? Good morning, Saw dude. Saw sobers. Of course I see you. I see all you guys. I just sometimes I'm a little slow to the game here. Okay, well, we figured out where Mr. Garcia, who this fool is, but why is he gonna invoke his Fifth Amendment rights? Have you seen the proposed immunity order? Yeah, we've seen it, but I'm not gonna testify. Does it incriminate him in some way? Did he take the bribe? Yo, Sasquatch Mind Control. That's a pretty sick name, dude. My cousin had an amazing wedding. She really did. And it was super fun. And it was like fairly low key. It was in Silverthorne here in Colorado, which is like a mountain town near Breckenridge. And yeah, it was super sick to chill up there. The Airbnb we stayed in was pretty nuts. I spent a lot of time editing. Yeah, but it was good. Oh, you just watched the Aaron Hernandez one? That one's pretty wild. It's crazy that he was still mingling with all of his old homies when he was making that much money, but at the same time, like, I probably would too. Like, all my old homies are like the homies. So I'm not gonna like make a bunch of money and just ditch them. It's just all my homies aren't into the gangbanging thing, so I don't feel like it'd be as big of a deal. But even still, I honestly feel bad for Aaron because I feel like the dude suffered from some serious CTE, like, and probably Wade Wilson too. But yeah, I don't know. The Twitch video, I'm not gonna lie, like, that was a good video. That shit was crazy, dude. I was finished filming and I had to go back and add more because I found out more stuff afterwards. And I was like, oh shoot, no way I can't leave this out. The little man dancing video, he was cracking me up that night, dude. He was literally so funny. And then after the fact, he was like, we're like, Bodie, we loved your dance moves, bruh. You were killing it on the dance floor. And Kim was like, what was that? What was your dance moves called? And he's like, it's called the lag. And we were like, the lag, huh? And he's like, yeah, it's kind of like if your video was lagging. I was like, dude, you're freaking hilarious. He's so funny and just like, I love seeing him with his own personality. But he is on our list because he was not pleasant this last week and last night. Kim said he was rough to put down last night. Yeah, he's hilarious. The lag, dude. I was like, I'm going to be rocking the lag like every day, dude. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Fifth Amendment rights, proposed immunity order. So he's given immunity. Your Honor, on that basis, we propose you sign the immunity order. Done. Bring in the witness. What? Sometimes I feel like I have no idea what's happening. This is one of those times. He is given an immunity order, but he was just going to testify and plead the fifth because he didn't want to talk about something. Yeah, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to be like, the lag is catching on, dude. Yeah, he's so unique. He's so funny, too. He showed me this video, and he doesn't, like, show me videos very often because a lot of his videos are, like, really dumb, like Roblox gamer videos. But this one, he's like, Dad, you got to watch this video real quick. And I was like, okay. So bless you. So he was like, he showed me the video, and it was just a dude who's like, if you pour water over the top of a rock, nothing happens. But if you pour water over the top of a rock that's already had water poured over it, nothing happens. And then he's like, if you pour water over a rock that you've poured water over twice, nothing happens. And that was the whole entire video. And it was like really dumb, but it was also really funny at the same time because he gets my super dry, dumb humor. And I don't know, it's just cool to see, like, he's just so aware, like more aware than you expect kids to be, I guess. But gave Buddy immunity for when it's his turn, then they brought back Mia. Okay, that's what I was confused about. I was like, why, like, are they bringing Mia in? Does this immunity order have something to do with Mia? Like, I feel like inner city press, probably on the basis of character caps or, like, I don't know, time. I'm not really sure. What up, Honeybee? Welcome in. Sup, sobers. But yeah, like, I feel like he obviously has to skip some information because he's just generally encapsulating what they're talking about. But sometimes that throws me off. I'm not going to lie. Bring in the witness. Bring forth the witness. Honestly, they really are. They're more in tune and intuitive than we definitely give them credit for. And I love that. Because, yeah, and since then, he's not shown me any other videos, but he just knew I'd think that was hilarious. And I really did. I was like, this video is so dumb, but so funny. It's a complete waste of, like, 30 seconds of your time, but I got a good chuckle out of it. Okay, bring in this witness. Mia takes the stand again. Mr. Steele, you may proceed. Show DX1750. It always sounds so intense when they show exhibits. Prosecution Smizer. Yeah, see, who's this Smizer character? Do they just give each person like a different... I mean, I guess that makes sense. Kind of like a group project. They're like, yo, you're in charge of this piece. You're in charge of this piece. And hopefully we're going to rock an A. Sad part is without the protection, they claim the fifth. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would too, because especially you don't know what's going to happen in this trial. Say Diddy does walk, or there is a mistrial, and he's got connections. Even if he does get sentenced, he's got connections on the outside. I'd be scared of them too. Your Honor, we renew our objection. This objection's been renewed. Mr. Steele, are we just going to show this video? You haven't laid any type of foundation. Take the video down. Combs of Steel. Did you work as an assistant to someone? Mia says maybe 2008 or 2007. Not really sure. I swear to God, I think Steele is a boss of a lawyer because he does this thing where he just like does what he wants despite the court rules. And then he just relies on the court rules to then correct him. But at that point, he's already said or done what he wants to do. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what the court says or what the prosecution says. They can object all day, but the jury has still heard that. And the judge can tell them, don't consider what he just said in your consideration for this case. And the witnesses or the jury's going to be like, okay, but like, I can't unhear that. And now it's got me thinking, and I can't unhear it, and I can't unthink these thoughts. So Brian Steele, dude, local legend. The guy I think that's a good defense attorney because they're just going to break the rules and like do whatever they have to in order to get their point across. 100%. Anybody that steps up there is in jeopardy. And that's totally what Steele does, right? Like, he's just like, I'm going to break the rules and rely on them to tell me, like, do first, ask questions later. Because if nobody says anything, like if they don't object and the judge doesn't correct him, then blam, he wins. And if he does get corrected, then he still kind of wins because he just has to like rephrase, but he's already gotten his point out there. So people know where he's going with this. It's an interesting tactic, but I mean, it must work because he seems to do it a lot. And he obviously has a track record of success. Why didn't they go ahead and charge him with all these other things like assault? Is it because it's the feds? Yeah, because I don't think the feds actually that would be like a state level prosecution. That'd be like a state level felony charge of like domestic violence, assault, those kinds of things. But once it steps up to like the feds wanted control of this case because they thought they have racketeering and all this other stuff going on. So that's what makes it a federal case. I wonder like where is the line drawn? Like what crimes are considered federal felonies? I guess it's only crimes that break federal laws. Yeah, exactly. Assault is definitely not even like in comparison. Like assault is kind of implied within the racketeering charge almost. Like racketeering is such an all-encompassing charge. It basically just means that you're running a business where you're breaking a shit ton of laws. And that could range from anything from trafficking to like drug selling to assault to like bribery, blackmail, like what he's accused of. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure what. It just seems like they're focusing on a lot of small stuff. You're right. You had a resume saying that you had the ability to multitask and had thick skin. Mia says, I'm not sure I wrote that. Yeah, I don't think anybody puts that on their resume. I got thick skin. Combs Steele says that you were able to deal with uncomfortable situations 24/7. Objection, reading for document not in evidence. Okay. Judge says overruled. Did you use this as your CV? CV. I don't know what that is. What is that? What's CV? Oh, that's true. It is, well, because, yeah, you're right. It's multiple locations. He's got his New York, Miami, and then obviously his California stuff. So it's likely that because it's interstate, that makes sense. Curriculum vitae? CV equals resume? Is it really? Is that what that means? I didn't know that. Learn something every day, you guys. But I only need to learn one thing per day, so I'm capped for the day. Okay, cool. I have seen CV as in reference to resume before, but I didn't know that that's what that meant. I'm not good with Latin. Looks like it. Did you use this as your resume? Okay, looks like it. 1753-R for admission. Judge admits it. You went to James Madison University. It's a well-known institution. Sure. Then you were a design assistant. Yes. Curriculum vitae. Okay, cool. Yeah, see, I need the pronunciation. Otherwise, I'm gonna butcher it. But I appreciate the pronunciation because I don't want to butcher it. I want to say it right. Yeah, you guys are doing great at schooling me. I literally love how much I learn just chatting with you guys each and every week. James Madison University. It's a well-known institution. Where's that at? Do you guys know where James Madison's at? In 2008 to 2009, you say you provided round-the-clock support, all personal and professional needs, keeping passports. They were all collected? I don't exactly remember. I didn't travel. But you traveled with Mr. Combs' companies? Oh, yes. So when you said they had your passport, they had everyone's passport? True? Yes. You are a strong person? I'm good at teaching people, not necessarily at enforcing things. You're a leader? I don't know about that. Oh, hell yeah, I'll take vice versa. Yeah, I definitely feel like I've gotten some pretty good information, although I'm always trying to expand my research abilities because I feel like people find stuff in the videos that I see that I'm like, how'd they find this? So I know that I'm still, there's more work to be done. Have stock in Johnson & Johnson. They have to have stock in J&J because there's no way that they would buy that much baby oil, or they'd at least get different brands. Using people like Diddy and his freak side. Yeah, it is grueling testimony. It's honestly like, it's just like, I don't know. Honestly, anytime the defense crosses, I'm just like, ugh, okay, dude. We get it. What is even the point that you're trying to get at here? And it does seem like they make a lot of inferences from these documents, but J&J's footing all these bills. Your whack jab in y'all's arms to mutate your bodies and babies. Yeah, and it gives you a Bluetooth signal so the government can just link up to you, and I don't know what the fuck. Probably more MK Ultra stuff. Maybe it allows them to send signals into your body that help with mind control. I don't know. Damn, really? I didn't know that. Capricorn Clark has an autistic son, and that's why she kept going back to Diddy. She really needed the job. Makes total sense because when you have an autistic kid, that's what Haas used to do for work. He used to help or like work with autistic kids, and he would do like in-home care, but he'd also work in the centers, so he'd do center care. But these parents would have to spend thousands of dollars for this like care that they get while they have to go to work. So, and like you can't just leave them with any old babysitter because they do require extra attention, and their social skills need like special development. So they rely on these schools to help them like develop socially. They're already super wicked smart, but a lot of them have these really weird social quirks that keep them from being able to function normally in like social settings. And so his job was to focus and work with them a lot on that stuff, which was super cool, but it was super hard work. He definitely was burnt out really quickly from it. So I can imagine having a job was super crucial, especially if it was just her, but working for Sean Combs probably helped her be able to pay and afford for all that stuff for her autistic son. That's crazy. Yeah, I know, honestly. And then if she gets blacklisted, she can't do anything in Hollywood, and it probably extends further than Hollywood even. Okay, let's see. You speak up for yourself? No. But you empower other people? True? Yes. Let's look at your text messages in 173 ETS what? At C what? Yeah, see, why does Brian Steele think he's better than me with his freaking Latin? I sound like me. Show the jury 1733. You left Mr. Combs' employ by March 2017. Yes. Myrnatech, they can target neurons for anxiety and depression. Who says they can't target the neurons that inhibit rage or crazy shit? Yeah, for real. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was watching something about how Kanye West was talking about how the 808 bass plays an undertone in the sound that can affect your one of the chakras. I don't remember which one. I think it was your root chakra, which was kind of interesting. But the fact that they can play these undertones, I was looking into, I don't even know how I got on this. I get into such weird holes sometimes. But the Travis Scott shit with what was that festival that he threw? And people were drawing similarities between what the Pearl Jam like festival that 8 people died at and this festival that he threw where 8 people died, and he was wearing a Pearl Jam shirt during the festival, and like there's just a lot of weird stuff. But it happened when they were playing this like really weird sound. Like it was like a really weird fluctuation of bass, super strange, and then multiple people pass out and like go into seizures in the crowd. Wild, dude. It was crazy. What was that freaking... I have the internet right here. What am I doing? What was that festival called? It'll pop up immediately. Astro World, yep. Astro World. Shit looks crazy, dude. Where's the entrance? That's what I'm looking for. The entrance was like a giant mouth. Look at this. You walk through that, which is hella cool, but it's definitely like, there's like satanic meaning behind that kind of, it's like entry into the afterlife, going from this world to the next, going through the mouth like that. It's pretty interesting, weird shit. There's a lot of occult stuff with this festival. Definitely check it out if you guys are interested. It was a pretty interesting rabbit hole. But anyways, that was interesting to know that you can affect people with sound so heavily. And I've heard that many times. Like, sounds can literally alter your state of mind pretty heavily, but it's like certain frequencies. Okay, anyways, sidetracked. Side quest. What did you wrote to Mr. Combs for Christmas 2018? Please read this. Merry Christmas. I love you. And the New Year's. I had just seen him at Kim's funeral. Damn. R.I.P. Kim. You reached out to him? Absolutely. Steele says, this 2019 message. I wrote, I had a nightmare. I was being chased by R. Kelly, and you saved me. Holy shit. That's a funny, weird dream. The person you say took advantage of you also saved you? Objection. Judge says, you're going to need to rephrase that, my friend. Steele says, here, what did you write? Mia says, sending you all the love in the world. Combs' Steele says, you are not in his grip anymore. Mia says, it's psychological. Yeah, for real. It's not like he physically keeps you there. It's all psychological. Why do you keep referring to psychology? Why did you do this? Kim Porter's tragic death was 5 months before. Shy, you were reaching out to Mr. Combs. Why were you reaching out to Mr. Combs? She says, 5 months is not a lot. I mean, I don't know about that, Mia. I think 5 months after somebody dies is definitely a while. Hey, really sorry to hear about Kim 5 months ago. I'm like, okay, thanks. My refrigerator sings to me at night. I struggle to sleep anywhere else. The sound just puts me out. That's super interesting. I mean, yeah, some certain sounds can be super soothing. Honestly, for Bodhi, every night we put on ASMR, and I'm like addicted to that shit now. Let's see, what is it? Is it Kurz Pipacello? That's a fun ass name. Kurz, that was the best Twitch deep dive video. Not any other video has got anywhere near the truth than you. How is no one talking about these truths? I don't know, honestly. And the amount of videos on Twitch is surprisingly low. The amount of videos that I found that like included Twitch as like a side note It was just like, oh, look at what happened to Anne Heche. And also, Twitch died 4 months later from an apparent self exit. And like, he was just like an accent, like an anecdote. He was never focused on. And I think that was really weird. The red face imagery stuff, God, the frazzle drip stuff got me good. I'm still like, when I get an opportunity, maybe later today. Well, just so you guys know, since you guys jump in the lives and you guys are chilling with me, I always feel like I like giving you guys a little sneak preview. But this week we're going to go back because I had to cover Twitch with Anne Heche because they're always talked about in tandem. But this week we're going to talk about Paul Walker. This is when I get requested Paul all the time. And after seeing that crash picture doing the Anne Heche video, like, I was immediately intrigued. So many haunting things that you see in this line of work, I guess. But just seeing that car accident, the car was just like molded around the tree, what was left of it anyways. There wasn't shit left of that car. It was insane to me. So I'm excited to dive into that one. And I also found some crazy stuff in relation to Paul Walker. Like, already, I've only looked into it for like 5 minutes and already I was intrigued. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. And that Twitch video, I'm not going to lie, like, of all the different ones that I've done so far, that one was a pretty good episode. Even though there's a couple editing mistakes, I blame that on being on vacation, but still, I'm probably the only one that even noticed or cares. Okay, sorry, I'm yet again. Thank you so much for that comment, though, Kurz. That was awesome. The post from Ariel and him being taken out. Like, seriously, what the hell? What are you guys talking about? I feel like... Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, like, the Twitch story is just crazy. The thing I couldn't get over is, like, why he just left that motel, or for that motel. And then one of my, like, loyal subs sent me this video of this other chick named Solar Flow, spelled, I'm gonna put it in here. You guys should follow her. She has like 3,000 subs, but she's very much like Sloan Bella. She does like almost the same thing. She also is very similar looking. But her video that I watched she did a bunch of different celebrities in like 1 2-hour long video. All these people that she talked about that people requested. And she talked about Twitch, and the thing that she said about Twitch was that Twitch left for the motel because he didn't want his family to be involved. Oh, hell yes. You love the new intro video? Thank you, Banna. That is probably my best editing. Like, that's the best thing I've edited so far. I don't know. I've just recently learned how to video edit, like doing this and working on my TikTok stuff, so... Yeah. Oh, and the mail entering the motel, coming to get an envelope. That shit was wild. And I don't know who this person is. Like, I was watching a video of a guy who talked a lot about Twitch, and he got a bunch of messages from people that told him that's what the talk was going. Like, that was what was being said in LA at the time surrounding everything that happened, which I thought was interesting because there's definitely going to be talk, especially in LA. And the only thing I forgot to include, but I like mentioned it, and you guys might have been like, what CS? But there was another post that I found it was like another post from somebody else that mentioned almost the exact same story. What up, Alan? And he had mentioned the exact same story, but at the end of it, he said that the person's initials were CS. And then that's how I got turned on to the Columbus Short thing. But yeah, I know I forgot to include it, but still. Ooh, Kim just shared a TikTok with me. She doesn't do that very often. Must be good. Okay. Sorry, it's psychological. Why do you keep referring to psychology? Why did you do this? Yeah, 5 months is not a lot. No, I disagree. Definitely a long time. What didn't you understand that Mr. Combs was brutal to you? How did you write this? Objection, argumentative. Mr. Steele, let's have a very brief sidebar. Okay, they're sidebarring. Now, May 14th, 2020, you texted Mr. Combs what? My heart is broken about Dre. In my spirituality, I know that when people are done with the physical world, it's that they have completed their mission. I love you. Broken about Dre? Which Dre? I don't know which Dre. Oh, yeah. Allison moved on to a new guy. She dropped the boss name like 24 or 48 hours after he died. And then she started dating like 2 years later. She publicly came out as dating this guy 2 years later. I can't remember his name. He's another like actor. I don't remember what he is. But yeah, he's got a lot of money, that's for sure. He like has some big foundation or charity or some shit. But yeah, she moved on real quick. But yeah, it's good to be home. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, and Sloan Bella definitely said that Twitch had a meeting that went wrong, and that's the only reason I can imagine him going to a motel like that. Like, why else would you go to this weird motel? And reading the reviews for that motel was hilarious. People do not like it. It's not a good place. The jury has investments in J&J. Yeah, we need to see if the jury's invested. Because if they are, then it definitely does not benefit them to have Diddy off the streets. Number one purchaser. What's this about? He auditioned for the James Brown part that Chad Boseman got. I told Puff I'd email him videos of his audition. You carried about a video camera? What? You carried about a video camera with you? Yeah, he required me to do it. Pre-iPhone, I was required. That's kind of funny. Film everything. Do you have any footage of Mr. Combs berating you? Objection. Overruled. I would not have been allowed to record that. Do you have anything about Mr. Combs? Do you have anything about Mr. Combs berating you? It would have violated confidentiality. But filming him in any other situation is fine. It's not violating his confidentiality. Oh yeah, and the sock in his mouth was really weird too. I thought that was super weird, super strange. That is racketeering, yeah, for sure. If the courtroom is a racket, that is what needs to be looked at. It's the mutated TPP. Yeah, that's true. You have no text messages. What? They showed me one on direct. Showing what? Puff saying, "F it, let's go to war." Nothing else? Only reaching out to other people in the office. Things others had seen. What did you write here? I wrote, we had so many funny memories. OMGGG. Anything in your phone about being brutalized? Oh my God, God, God. Anything in your phone about being brutalized by Mr. Combs? I don't think so. How would we find out? Objection. Sustained. What do you mean? How would we find out? You just look through it. Mia, didn't you have time away from Mr. Combs to write, today he sexually assaulted me? I did not have time and would not have written that. August 29th, 2020. He wrote to you, glad you're well. Love, please send me the footage for the doc. Combs Steele says, it's 2020. The Me Too movement is strong for 2 years, you could say. I remember the bad times, right? I would never have said that. Because it's not true? Objection. Overruled. You wrote what? Love you too. I wrote so many crazy things, like Mick Jagger trying to take me home, and that Baccarat game, my pink bedazzled iPhone. There are trillions of stories. Of course, I'll send to you. I was bamboozled by Heather. I love that word, bamboozled. Have you ever played that game, Bean Boozled? Ugh. Remember the scrapbook I made you? I've got you. I'm so confused right now. Yeah, I feel like everybody in Hollywood knows that their time in Hollywood is very limited. And I was wondering, why would these celebrities even have any interest in drinking adrenochrome? But the whole point of it is to make you look younger. I watched some crazy video the other day where they actually have done research on that. They have actual blood transfusion treatments where you can literally get infusions of blood, and I think it's just the plasma of the blood from teenagers, basically. How they get that, I don't know. If they donate it or if they're getting it other ways, but these blood transfusions literally are used to make you look younger, and they have scientific proof showing that it does, like, maybe not necessarily make you look younger, but it makes you age slower, which I thought was super weird. Yeah, straight up. What, this little powder that's getting into everything, where is that coming from? And probably China, but who knows, honestly. And it's getting into, I mean, who knows? It could just be population control. But the fact that, like, why are people putting this stuff in substances? Like, you shouldn't have that drug in a batch of, like, pink coffee table powder, for instance. Like, that's like a smorgasbord of drugs, but it's supposed to be a party drug. So you wouldn't think that having that in there would even be helpful. It would totally turn off those vibes. So I don't know. They're just putting it in there. It seems like they're just putting it in there to intentionally take people out. Sometimes I don't think I do understand how they do these things. Like, it's literally crazy to me how they are able to orchestrate all this stuff. But at the same time, like, with this many people involved, there's probably somebody in charge of every different aspect of things. Sometimes I wonder if Diddy was, like, part of the process and figuring out how to actually orchestrate these hits. I don't know. But I don't know if I could give Diddy that much credit. The dude literally is a 5-year-old. He's actually a 5-year-old. So I don't know. He basically a vampire. Look into Ambrosia. Bieber's probably next. You're probably right. God bless. Literally, the fact that Bieber gives me such bad Aaron Carter vibes it's too much. I'm, like, worried for him. Because I love Bieber, and he's been kind of speaking out. Like, especially if you guys look at the subliminal stuff he seems to be posting. That Yummy video is definitely very cryptic. What up, One Chance? China hates America thing, but they're just as helpless as we are and all the other countries with the globalism agenda. I feel like that's true. 100%. In fact, more than anybody, because, like, most of China is so heavily regulated that it's probably all controlled by the people who run the country or people in their communist party, whatever, who are likely also influenced by this globalist thing. I would fully agree with that. I feel like China gets scapegoated a lot because nobody understands it and they're kind of mysterious and nobody really understands what their government's trying to actually do. But honestly, I really don't know. I really, really don't know. And most drugs actually come from South America, I feel like. But is that one, like, is fentanyl, like, synthesized? Is it from a plant? Like, what is it made of? Because it's not, isn't actually an opiate? Is it just a really strong opiate? I don't know what it is. Ask North Korea why we look at China. Yeah, for real though, North Korea is probably one of the sketchiest places on this earth. I wouldn't be shocked if Bieber died. He is Aaron Carter all over again. Well, if he ends up in a bathtub, OD'd on some drugs, then we know that he definitely was taken out. I still will never understand why the bathtub, like, it must be a symbol of something. Or maybe that is, other people have said it's a way to get rid of fingerprints and stuff. But the bathtub thing is weird. What adult human takes a bath in a freaking hotel bathtub? Like, okay, I'll give you the bath. Sure, some adults take baths. Cool. Okay, I'll give you that. I disagree, but okay, I'll give you that. Especially guys. Like, I don't know any guys that take baths literally ever. My body's too big for the bathtub. It's not even comfortable. It's not relaxing. It's actually really shitty. I'd much prefer a shower. And if I was going to take a bath, my phone would be with me 100% because I'd be watching conspiracy videos. But the fact that these people all take baths in hotel rooms, that's never happening. You will never catch me taking a bath in a hotel bathroom. So gross. Who knows what was in there before you? I'm not going to soak in it. What's used for anesthesia? I've been hearing a lot about this scopolamine. Is that what it's was that what it's called? I've been hearing a lot about that one. That's one that I haven't really heard of before, but that one seems to be very similar to, like, other tasteless, odorless poisons that can kill you. Okay. Sorry, let me get back to this. I think I was just slowly scrolling down and not even realizing it. How did he bamboozle you with a part of his body? What? How did he bamboozle you with a part of his body without your consent? A part of his body in yours without your consent. Objection sustained. Okay. What does brainwashing mean? The highs were really... I like how he just moves on. He's like, okay, said what I needed to say, and I'm going to move on. I'm telling you, that's what Brian Steele does. He's like, I'm just going to ask wild-ass questions, and then we're going to go back and pretend like I didn't just ask that, but you already heard it, so you can't unhear it. What does brainwashing mean? The highs were really high and the lows were really low. I was punished whenever Puff was violent, making me believe I had done something wrong. He was praised by the public. Combs of Steel, you were aware of the Me Too movement. No outcry out of you. Why? He said he was going to tell Cassie what happened. I internalized blame and shame. Who threatened to tell Miss Ventura about Mr. Combs supposedly sexually assaulting you? Puff. Combs of Steel, why didn't you respond? Great, let's tell everyone what you did to me. Objection sustained. Let's move on. You said you have a moral obligation to speak up? Now I do. Why not in 2017? I was brainwashed. When did you first say, me too? When I first saw him being held responsible. Now I have therapy. Mr. Combs wrote, I gotta find that. You got a copy? What does it refer to? I think he means the James Brown video. Scrapbook. James Brown video, what? The free Diddy school walkouts happening? What? No, I didn't hear about that. That's crazy. People are just walking out of school. Like the schools are doing any good for these kids. I know, honestly, we've been talking. I mean, we love Bodie's school. His kindergarten teacher was amazing. She's super awesome. But just the generalized information they're being handed, Bodie seems really burnt out on it. He keeps saying he's bored, which to me means he's not learning anything interesting or challenging. So we're entertaining the idea of homeschooling him, but obviously we have to have somebody to be able to stay here to do that. But that's why, because we want to be able to teach him shit that actually is important. Who needs to learn history when it might be made up anyways? Stuck in this role. There was just one at MLK High School off of Novaris and 2nd. Interesting as hell. They're just like walking out to free Diddy. Yeah, homeschool for sure. That's what we're feeling like that might be. I'm just like, am I qualified for this? Can I really teach this kid everything he needs to know? But then I'm like, yeah, probably. Honestly, yeah, teach him everything he needs to know. Because honestly, what do I remember from school? Not shit, dude. I don't remember anything from school. Literally, I suck at math now, and I was really good at math in school. Okay, sorry. James Brown video. What the fuck is she talking about? Scrapbook. What's this scrapbook? Do you guys know what the scrapbook is? Or this James Brown video? If Trump pardons Diddy, I would be really surprised. I don't think that... I saw this video of Trump the other day, actually yesterday, and it was really interesting. It was on a QAnon site, obviously, but the people were talking, or the video was about him saying like, yeah, I used to be a member of this special club, and I'm not going to lie, it's really great on the other side. The special club is great. But now that I've realized that the special club isn't so great, and I'm over here on the other side trying to drain the swamp of all this evil going on behind the scenes, now you guys hate me even more because you're saying I was a part of the special club. And so I don't know, it seems like maybe he had some sort of switch in mentality at some point, which maybe he just started figuring out what's going on behind closed doors and then was like, no, I can't do this. I don't know. I'm in no way a Trumper by any means, but hearing him say that, I was just like, yeah, I mean, I can vibe with that because he was, I mean, to think that Trump didn't mingle with all these people would be insane. The guy was literally in the same world as Epstein, investments, freaking big business. He's another billionaire. Of course they're going to mingle with each other. But maybe he started mingling and then they started introducing him to things he didn't want to be introduced to and started to move the other direction. But The only reason Trump said he would ever run for president is if he felt like it was so bad that he had to. And that must mean that things got so bad that he felt like he had to run. I don't know. I'm in no way supporting one way or the other, but I do think it's interesting that he gets so much hate for like switching teams, even like not switching teams, even though he did switch teams. That's my opinion. What is this scrapbook? I don't think he would pardon him. I really don't. I honestly don't see him pardoning. It would honestly not be good for his political campaign either. I don't think he's that crazy. The children thing. Yep. The children thing is definitely... I mean, how many cultures and countries talk about the children thing? Like, I swear to God, it's so widespread. It's insane. I actually had no idea. Until Kim went to see that Sound of Freedom movie, she like kind of told me about it because I didn't see it with her, but she was telling me all about it, and it sounded... She's like, I just didn't realize it was such a worldwide problem. And I was like, me either. People say all the time that Sea Springs, where I live, is like one of the most, like, it's a huge trafficking zone because of our connection. Like the Highway 25 or Interstate 25 goes all the way south. So it's like a huge trafficking spot. But they probably say that about every city. I don't know. Yeah, he literally told Epstein to stay away from him, and you don't find any interactions between Trump and Epstein after, like, I don't even know what year, but certainly after he was out of prison or out of jail. So, I don't know. It's pretty... That was the other thing. It was on a QAnon post, and he was basically saying, like, you guys are hating on me for letting you know what's going on behind the scenes and trying to drain the swamp of all this evil that's happening. And so that's what that's one of the main reasons why they're saying that Trump might be the leak of information for all these QAnon revelations that we see. And I've seen some pretty interesting videos, honestly, to justify that he is. MAGA means witch in Latin. That is interesting. But MAGA's just Americanized because we just love abbreviations here. So I think that's just, I don't think maybe he did intend for it. You never know. But some of the like misspellings that Trump puts in his tweets from back in the day, they were reanalyzing these tweets and showing that the misspellings actually connected to political scandals that were happening at that time. And I was like, damn, like he seems like he's just this really stupid, ignorant president that can't even spell stuff right. But what if it was intentional? And when you see the misspellings, you're like, it does seem like it would be intentional because it's not a commonly misspelled word. I don't know. Look at Iran women back in the day and look at them now. Honestly, I don't know shit about Iran or anything having to do with Muslimism or Islam or what am I trying to say. I've never had any interest in it. I don't know. So I just never looked into it. But I am curious now. But I was aware of the massive global crisis of human trafficking and slavery for well over 20 years. They even had a TV series on the TLC channel. Really? No, you don't sound like a jackass at all. Mish Mills, thank you. The scrapbook, what the unidentified witness, Diddy's personal assistant, made for him of her own volition. The defense is trying to use it to say that she obviously had affection for Diddy. Oh, she made him a scrapbook. Okay. Thank you, Mish Mills. Crushing it with the info here, because I honestly had not heard of what it was, so I didn't know. But I felt like it was something that we should know about, so I appreciate that. Honestly, you know what controls the USA? Money. Anybody that controls the money controls the US, because that's what everything revolves around here. MAGA means magician. That's super interesting, honestly. That's very interesting. Knowing religions helps understand why there's slavery. That actually makes a lot of sense. If you take all of the world religions and beliefs and you put them in a pile, I think the end result, if they all meshed into one solid idea, you'd probably find one similarity between all of them, and that's probably the truth. And that truth is probably that we don't fucking know anything. We have no clue. We literally don't. And it's funny how all-encompassingly, like it's so... What am I trying to say here? It's mind-boggling. You literally sit and think about it all the time. Like, what is the purpose? Why are we here? But I don't know. Some people claim to know. I don't claim to know. I have no idea. All right, I'm going to go through this. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. But we got the scrapbook thing down. So she made Diddy a scrapbook. I wrote, I think I have PDFs. I think I gave it to you for your birthday in your house in Mapleton, on Mapleton. I customized that purple leather suit so you could walk not giving an F. If y'all can find it, I will, but I didn't. You have a PDF? I thought so. What did you write here? My grandmom went into hospice, so I have to fly out. I have to miss your event here in my hometown. C'est la vie. Fucking crash it and make history. Heart emoji. Oh, fucking crush it and make history. Sorry. Deepest sympathy for your grandmother. Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Steele. What was this about? There had been some terrible event with the police. Pharrell organized an event to change the narrative of Beach Week, which I think is a college thing. You wanted to see Mr. Combs? I did not. I only said so. Okay, well that's very confusing. You said you wanted to see him, but you didn't really. So then why even say it? My hometown of Virginia Beach doesn't usually get this type of attention. You're telling the jury you were scared of Mr. Combs? True? I was scared of him when he was scary. Okay. Mia. Listen to 1750. Tell me if you recognize it. Move to admit 1750 and 1750 are Judge, Miss Meisner. What, Miss Smizer? Smizer says, we object. The proper basis for admission has not been established. Let's have a sidebar. BJ was like, what do they got, drinks over at this sidebar or what? That cracked me up. Because for real, like what's with the sidebars? Religion wasn't established till after the fall of man. I find that to be interesting too. The thing that like always screws up religion is organized religion, in my opinion. As soon as it becomes organized, as soon as it's like a church, a cult, a fucking whatever, it's not just a personal relationship with whatever God you call God, that's when it starts to get tainted. Because then you're letting other people tell you how to worship your God. And that's not cool. To be honest with you guys, I only read articles and internet stuff. I don't really read books. When I do read books, I fall asleep like immediately. I don't know why. I do love audiobooks though. I've read a few audiobooks, if that counts as reading. I've listened to a couple of books. Do you know about paper and why it's important? No, Time to Heal, you got to enlighten us because I don't know what's the significance of paper. Well, and the thing that's crazy is they've just wiped out entire libraries of history over time. Paper's important for recording history and changing the narrative. It's basically like old school news media. They've until now, had been objecting to exhibits and turning over private correspondences of this witness. We now have sat through hours of humiliating cross. Yep, Mr. Steele has insulted this witness, saying things like, God forbid, after things she said. That's pretty funny. Also crazy. One by one, Your Honor, let the exhibit in, but now cumulatively, I can't say that word either, just like coroner's report. Every time I say that, it pisses me off. I'm just like, I can't do this. We have reached harassment. Given the tone, we do not think continuing this is appropriate. She has carried herself with grace. This is adding to trauma. Eyes are on this trial. No eyes are on this trial. It's not televised. I know it's just a figure of speech, but no, nobody's watching this. We would like to be. Let's see. Okay. I want to see what Time to Heal said. Yeah, exactly. It's group thought that's the issue. And then group thought becomes tainted because everybody's just like agreeing with somebody else because they're higher up in the church or like because they said so. Then if I want to look like a good little bitch, then I got to do what they say too. And like I got to agree because I don't want to be ousted from the church or like the cult or whatever we're doing. I don't know. I totally feel like it's organized religion that taints religion for sure. Because yeah, you can believe in whatever God you want to believe in. You can worship whatever God you want, but like You should just do that on your own time. Like, why do you have to go to church every Sunday to do that? It doesn't make any sense. You read paper books. Yes. She's seeing that. I don't know, paperclip. Sweden checking in. Yo, Moret. I'm mostly Swedish. That's my descent. My ancestors came over to the U.S. from Sweden. God, my dog is so annoying sometimes. Also, Hunter has Finger Lakes tattooed on his back. Big old piece. Really? That's cool. A big old back piece of Finger Lakes. That's cool. So that means he's from what, Indiana, you said? Did the obelisk make it over with any issues? Time to heal. You're so cryptic sometimes. I kind of like it. Yes, Titanic sits at the bottom of the ocean, and that's why we have a Federal Reserve Bank now. Whose eyes are on those trees? And what about the obelisks and the wooden boats? My computer has the Dolly elephants piece on it as like my cover. And the two elephants are carrying two obelisks, but they're floating above their back. So that has to mean something. And these obelisks definitely have weird carvings on them. He who owns the food owns the people. That's true. That is true. Yeah, I know. Time is speaking in riddles straight up. And I've never been good at riddles, man. But I'm trying to figure it out. Don't set T off on that Titanic shit again. The Titanic shit is crazy because my kid loves Titanic. And it's funny that it must have just popped up because he searches for Titanic all the time. But I only read books in prison. Yeah, that's the only thing to do in prison. There's literally tons of books. They're all shitty too. Like, except for the Bible, I guess. That's the one book that everybody's like, yeah, this is a good book. Church was a way for people to commune, but organized religion changed parts of the Bible and left parts out for control and power. Yeah, I took a really cool class in college where they told me all about the different writers of the Bible and like I think it was like 3 or 5 different writers from different time periods and how they changed things, and they can kind of alter it the way they want per the time period. His story, it's whoever the winner is controls the narrative, dude. Whoever controls the food controls the narrative. Culinary herbs and immune support. Yeah, I know that's all died out. They don't do that here. Kim really wants to be an herbalist. She wants to help people with that. But she's like, well, Grok and AI can do that now, so there's no need for me. If you feel you are asking questions just to ask them, I'm going to tell you to move on, the judge says. Combs the Steel says, I understand. I don't see improper treatment here, Miss Comey, but I will continue to watch. I saw photographs 1799, 1 through 25. Can I see them? We don't have stamped versions of these. Do you have the photos? Yes, but we won't know which one you are referring to, says the prosecution. Judge says, Mr. Steele, why don't they have stamped copies of these? Steele says, I only saw it this morning. I literally feel like they say that shit all the time. Well, we just got this in this morning, last minute. What can we do? Just got it in this morning. They've been sitting on this for months now. Just show them to me one by one. Next, Mr. Steele, what is the relevance? Combs the Steel. Impeachment. She said she had no time for herself to tell others. These images show Mia with friends and family over these years. Why would baby showers have any relevance? The judge asks. Why not just ask questions about this? Why show these? Combs the Steel says, because I like to do the impeachment that way. Judge says, absent any further showing, they are excluded. Steele says, admit them for the record? Judge says, no. Combs the Steel says, we want them in if there's an appeal. Prosecution says, we'll put them in the case file. That's how we'll handle it. Steele says, I asked Mia, do you have friends? And she said, I did not see them. I did not have an external sounding board, she said. There was no time. Judge says, the problem is putting in the post. They are not relevant and they are cumulative. See, that's a hard one for me to say. Anything more than 3 syllables, I'm struggling. You already spent a lot of time to the scrapbook. Please bring Mia back in. You've already spent a lot of time on this scrapbook. Please bring Mia back in. Yeah, and if you've already talked about the scrapbook, it probably had pictures of friends and all this other stuff that you're trying to bring in. So likely not worth bringing all this other stuff in. Justin's in a cult. You have to pay that church like Scientology 10% of your yearly wage when they interviewed someone who was in Justin's church. Yeah, as soon as you start having to pay money to the church, those fools are already tax exempt. Why do I got to give you my money? Come on, y'all. It's definitely a money thing. Scientology and money. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. Scientology is wild. Hey, did we ever figure out if Tom Cruise officially left the church? Is that a real thing? Let's ask Rock. One of these days, I think you guys just make me nervous. Maybe it's because my arms are stretched out, but I can't type when I'm on live with you guys. Did Mr. Cruz leave the church? Cellular memory? Plandemic. Can I download from iTunes? What's up, dude?
Well, Dad. I just wanted to say that what chore do I have to do so I can lose a day from me being grounded? What other 2 things do I have to do? Because I already lost one because my mom said to make me clean my room, and I did.
You did?
Yep.
I don't know about that. You cleaned your room?
I did.
No.
Yes, I did.
Oh, is Kai awake?
Yeah.
Did he already get in the shower?
Yeah, he went in the shower.
Did you give him his clothes?
No.
Can you give him his clothes when he's out of the shower?
Sure, fine.
And then, I don't know, you just have to come help me with mowing the yard today.
Oh my gosh. Why something else? Why don't I just vacuum the house? Why don't I vacuum?
Yeah, you can vacuum the house if you want.
Well,
Did you vacuum your room?
No.
Why don't you vacuum your room? Well, you can vacuum it. You want to vacuum it? What do you want to do to lose a day?
I would actually want to lose 2 days by doing 2 chores.
Okay, that seems fair.
So I can get down to the first day.
Oh, thanks, Heidi. Well, dude, I think if you find some things to do, did you give your mom a big hug and tell her you're sorry?
Well, I didn't give her a hug.
But you did tell her you were sorry?
Yeah, last night.
Well, why don't you give her another big hug and tell her you're sorry and tell her that Dad said you can lose a day if you do that. But you gotta mean it. Yeah, his adorable little voice. It melts my heart. He's so cute. He was a real dick last night. He was a fucking asshole last night to Kim. So his cute little voice, don't let it fool you. Okay? Don't let it fool you. Jesus is a good dude. I'm sure he was great. I'm sure he was an awesome dude. And no matter what, he stood for something great. And Kim says that she watched some stuff about how he actually did exist in history.
Hey, Dad.
You saw the 9 NYPD suicided. Please cover it for their family's sake. Yes, I totally saw that too. And that story seems very interesting. Sorry, buddy. What's up?
Well, Dad, I gave my mom a hug.
Did you tell her you were sorry?
No.
Can you please tell her that you're sorry for being... Hey, you need to tell her that you were sorry for being so mean to her last night.
Mom, I'm sorry for being mean to you last night.
Yeah, I think that's a good trade-off, right?
I did that, Dad.
All right, well, that'll take 1 day off.
What
But then you're going to have to help me outside with the yard when we mow the yard later.
else? Why can't I do something else?
You're just trying to get it all done so you can lose all your days and be on your iPad right now, huh? Probably. Oh, yep, see, Dad called it. We're going to do some fun stuff outside today, okay? Hopefully it's nice.
No, I don't.
Why don't you go see if there's other stuff you can help with upstairs? There might be something you can work on upstairs. You could lose another day. How many days are you at?
I'm at 2.
2 days, huh?
No. Yeah, I am at 2 days.
Okay.
So I only have 1 so I can do whatever I want finally. Dad.
What?
I want to whisper this into your ear because, yeah. You know that.
Sure, come on over. Oh, okay. Well, we can definitely do that later, buddy. Yeah, the 9 officers thing, though, you guys. Because those are supposedly the 9 officers who came into possession of these emails, I guess. So, and you can imagine that they probably didn't avoid those emails from Hillary and Huma. I would imagine they didn't, because I wouldn't. I would be like, yeah, I didn't read them. 100% I didn't read those. Yeah, he was definitely real. It's just like I don't know what he actually said. It's like when I look into this stuff, I'm like, well, you can't circular reason the Bible existing because of the religion existing. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't track with me. So like I've got to see other existence, other proof, and I've never been shown that. And honestly, I just avoid the whole topic really altogether because I just don't. I feel like I'm always so busy to think about religion. My soul's damned to hell anyways. Okay, Tom Cruise has not publicly left the Church of Scientology. Since then, there have been ongoing rumors and speculation about his relationship with the organization, especially given recent events in his personal life. Okay. Reduced public association, family dynamics, might be reevaluating his involvement to reconnect with his daughter Suri, whom he hasn't been publicly linked to since 2012, probably because of the church. Public incidents and protests, mixed signals from insiders, but there's no official confirmation. Okay, so it seems like it might be happening, like slowly he's transforming. That is true. You are right, Alan. One thing that Kim and I always talk about is we're not sure who God is up there, but we still talk to him. We still pray with Bodhi all the time. Sometimes it's the only thing that calms him down. Say a little prayer with him. And I grew up in the church, so I definitely have a respect for it. But I definitely don't practice, that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. Okay, sorry. Back to this. Tom Church, still in the cruise. The problem is putting in the posts. They're not relevant, they're cumulative. Okay. You said she was your sister? Yes. You loved her? Absolutely. You feel the same way today? Yes. You would never lie to her? Puff didn't allow me to tell her things. Like where he was, anything he said. They're talking about Cassie, okay. Was Miss Ventura in love with Combs? I thought so. Did you ever tell the person she loved? Okay, this is where we started. Nice. Did you ever tell her the person she loved graped you? No. Do you remember telling her Mr. Combs's brain need to be rewired? May we have a sidebar? You may. We need a couple drinks. Shit's getting heavy. Combs' Steele then says after the break, would you cover up for Mr. Combs to Miss Ventura? Why writing that Mr. Combs is just misunderstood? Objection. Rephrase. Did you tell Miss Ventura she needs to stay with Mr. Combs? I don't remember that. He could find out what I was telling her. How? He had stolen my phone and Cassie's phone many times. He's put tracking devices on her car. But you were alone with Miss Ventura? Yes. You sued Mr. Combs for $10 million? It was a mediation. My lawyers ended up getting $200,000. Dang. You only got $200,000 from a $10 million lawsuit? Okay, Sasquatch, I like that. Jesus and religion are different. I definitely feel that. That's a really good point, you guys. Very good point. BMX Chelsea, sub sobers. You grew up in the church. You're not religious. I'm still glad I went and learned the community and morals. I fully agree with that. And Bodhi's super, like, I don't know where he gets this stuff from, probably from his videos, but he's all about the, like, Christian stuff. And so I'm sure he will enter the church, and I'm never going to tell him no. Like, I think it does provide good morals. And it does provide a good foundation for you to understand generally what religion is. What's up, dude?
Dad?
What?
I just wanted to say that, I don't know what to do, so I don't have any days of being grounded. All I want to do is just watch your live stream and see what it's like being in an actual live stream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure. Sure you do. You want to see what it's like being in a live stream? You come over here and sit on this side of it, dude. You hear how he's manipulating me right now? You guys hear this?
Oh my god.
Pretty cool. Look at all these people. They're commenting, saying stuff. I'm over here. I'm reading this, and it's showing up on the screen. See this screen?
I know it's like being in the chat of a live stream, but I do not know what it's like being in an actual live stream like that.
Come over here and wave to the... Here, let me turn this off real quick. There you go. Look, there's Kai, and that's Bodhi. Kai's his little friend. He is my boss's son. Did you sleep good, dude?
Yep.
Yeah?
I just took a shower.
Nice. All right, let's get this back up. Yeah, why don't you guys have a sword fight or have a Nerf war or something? Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, I know. Aren't they adorable? You shouldn't have to pay to be loved like religion, or you'd be paying your children and partners to be loved. You guys are a couple of turds. You know that? They're just curious about what's going on in the Diddy trial. They're very invested. All right, so she only got $200K from this $10 million settlement that she was trying to get. But please look at the screen. Is that your social media account? Looks like a text message. Sounds like me. Your text to Mr. Combs? I don't remember sending this. You are in a tutu, and Mr. Combs appears to be holding his private parts. In Miss Ventura's lawsuit, she alleged sexual abuse. Mia says yes. Steele says, why did you still communicate with Mr. Combs? Objection. Sustained. I don't know. That doesn't seem like an objectable question. Why did you still communicate with him?
This basketball is trash now because Chapo stepped on it.
No, Chapo popped it last night when Parker was playing with it. But there's a couple more. Plus, you can play with the basketball hoop outside. Did you meet these prosecutors in January 2024? I may have. I don't remember the timing. Did you tell them Mr. Combs assaulted you? I don't remember when I told them. Did you get a lawyer? Yeah, I got a lawyer. Combs is Steele. The lawyer, who had 45 days earlier obtained an enormous judgment. Objection. Sustained. Oh, so this lawyer must have done really well on another case, and they were like, that they're trying to say that that's why she retained this lawyer. Objection. Sustained. Why did you hire her? Objection. Sustained. Let's move on. You only first alleged sexual assault in June 2024? Hey, if you guys are going to be down here, can you be a little quieter? My microphone's really good. It picks up all the sounds. Yeah, honestly, I got to keep him protected from this stuff. He doesn't even know. He has no clue. Oh, whoops. Yep, here we go. I don't remember the timing of things. The rest can go into, I understand it's privileged. Prosecution's objecting to what? I don't remember the timing. The rest can go into, I understand it's privileged. Oh, the rest I can't go into. I'm just reading it wrong. I understand it's privileged information. Objection, that's sustained. Let's have another sidebar. We're getting trashed today, guys. Combs to Steele, once they're back, says, let's talk about Prince's party. I love that we're talking about Prince right now. Prince is another one I'm excited to dive into, you guys. Prince was a freaking boss. You going to be on live long? I'm going to be on until they finish the trial. And then I got to mow the yard if you guys didn't hear that, but I try to keep it PG. You never know with the internet. Like, why is everybody so sensitive? I understand that you can't say G-A-Y on anything, like, but even if you're not referring to it in any sort of negative light, you're just referring to it to talk about that community just generally, to like say this person was or was not that. You just can't say it. Like, it's just crazy. You can't say anything now. That's a great place to start a dialogue with children. Pinocchio's a weird-ass movie, am I right? Like, also, what was that other one we talked about in the Kate Spade video, The Rescuers? Have you guys seen that? The Rescuers, the second one? Or the first one, even. They're both about keeping kids in cages. Not the Diddy trial, please. Pinocchio. Oh, they don't even know what's going on, these kids. I'm trying to think of what Bodhi can go do right now. Bodhi, why don't you go get your remote control cars out? Show them your cool Tesla. You can drive that around. Maybe you guys can make a ramp or something.
To play GTA 5.
No, not right now. Sorry, guys.
Where's 5?
Okay, now I got a whole crew here. All right, you guys, can you go find something to do upstairs? Chapo's here now, too. We got everybody. We got the whole crew. Ooh, they're going paddleboarding. Hey, I need my light back. Let's talk about Prince's party. You said you had no permission to go there, but you knew many people who knew Mr. Combs would be there. Rephrase. Did you wear a disguise? No. Any photo of a chase? No. What are they talking about? Mr. Combs of Steel says, you say you and Miss Ventura got on a paddleboard.
You're the star of the show, so I'm putting the light on you.
Thanks, bud.
You're the star of the show.
You got on a You say you and Miss Ventura got on a paddleboard into a storm? Yes. Any recording of that? No. Any note or text message to prove it happened? I don't think so. We were on a paddleboard. Did you make it up? No. What are they talking about, dude? What is even the point of this questioning? Wizard of Oz is insane. Judy Garland, the whole Judy Garland thing is freaking nuts, dude. That poor girl. Most of the viewers have a kitchen to clean. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes that is literally what happens, I swear. I'm going to have to go figure out what these kids are going to do. We're almost caught up, though, I feel like. I thought Kim... What time is it? Oh, no, Kim's probably gone. She probably just left for work.
Yeah. So
The Dark Side of the Moon played over The Wizard of Oz.
Somebody vacuum, that's probably
You're talking
their
about the... You're talking about the movie The Dark Side of the Moon? Or you're talking about the album? Oh, watch the movie... Or listen to The Dark Side of the Moon played over The Wizard of Oz. That's interesting. That's super interesting. I just got the Dark Side of the Moon record for the wall. Super good album. Super good album. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, give me just a sec, you guys. I'm going to figure out what these creeps can do. Also, did Mom give you breakfast already?
No.
No? Okay. I'll make sure you guys eat some food. Let's do this. Whoops. Okay, into a storm. We read through all that. We were on a paddleboard, so did you make it up? All right, there you go. So you guys can read further if you want. I'll be right back.
Dad, I hope you read my comments when I'm done being grounded, because I'm gonna be in your stream, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna search up Sober Sector and then I'm gonna watch your stream.
All right, let's go get you guys some food.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Really hungry.
What are you hungry for?
Oh yeah. This is a push pin. This is a push pin. Hey, Dad.
Yes, sir.
Can you get one RC car? One of my RC cars for me and Kai?
Yeah. Tesla should be good and it's in the garage.
Bag label. Bag label. Bag label. Bag label.
Yeah, you can use this one. And you can use the Tesla. You guys can drive them around.
Hey, Kai. Use the Tesla. We're not poor. It's a new Tesla. It's a new Tesla. It's the new Tesla race like car thing. Now I remember what it's called.
All right, okay, and we're back. Thanks for holding tight. Oh man, you guys don't even know. Kids without their tablets, they don't know what to do. They're just like, what? What do we do? I'm like, dude, we spend thousands of dollars on toys for you. You don't want to play with any of them? Super cool toys too. He's got this super sick Tesla, like Hot Wheels remote control car. It's freaking massive. It's like this big. We got it at Costco. It's huge. And it's fast as boy. I'm going to drink my homemade pineapple mango coconut smoothie. That sounds amazing. And off to the good fight I go, trying to convince kiddos to have faith in themselves and reach some goals today. That sounds freaking amazing. That sounds like a great, I'm assuming your job. That sounds like a great thing to do for people. Honestly, kids need inspiration. My kid definitely needs inspiration. Okay, let's catch up here. You said you had no time with family. Did you ever go to events with your family and friends? Sporadically over 8 years, but few and far between. Weddings? Sister and best friends, I believe. Halloween? I don't remember. You had times with others, right? I had to be in communication 24/7. I was never outside his grip. Outside of the work environment? Why couldn't you explain the abuse you say you were experiencing? It's more complicated than that. I feel like we already read this, but isn't it true that other than the few times Mr. Combs was violent with Miss Ventura, which is never okay, you were comfortable with Mr. Combs? You'd have to rephrase. You never advised Miss Ventura to leave him? No. Yeah, we definitely went through all this. I forgot we haven't updated in a minute. Ooh, we got a new picture. 36 minutes, 1 hour, judge break. Okay, we didn't get to the break yet. Okay, I feel like we read through this. The privileged therapist. You joined the Me Too money grab against Mr. Combs. Objection. You knew Miss Ventura received money from her lawsuit against Mr. Combs. It was public, but you speak with Miss Ventura, never about anything I discussed with the government. How would we know that? Objection. Sustained. Let me show you documents. Read it to yourself. Your Honor, could we have a sidebar? And, Your Honor, could we have a sidebar? Yes. Jurors, you can leave. Judge Tamiya, when we come back, you will be shown documents. Have a good break. We'll talk to the government over break about witness's lawyer. Okay. Then they had their lunch break. That's about the time we came in earlier. Oh yeah, the tablet addiction thing, you guys, is literally so real. It's like insane. And it's yeah, the ramp, right? The ramp was a good idea. That's all I ever did as a kid. I just rode my bike and jumped things off of ramps, including my bike. He's always asking me to make him ramps. So I'm surprised he doesn't want to do it. But they're out just playing with their remote control cars now. So, and they ate food, which is great. They're doing great. I thought my boss was going to come pick up her kiddo this morning, so I didn't expect to have to be watching him today, but whatever. It's cool. It's good for me. Bodhi loves hanging out with him. I know, ramps were life. That was like the coolest thing you could do as a kid. Yeah, we've been trying to limit his screen time a whole lot more. The good thing is once he's away from it and he's focused on other stuff, he does amazing things. He's always like creative. He loves to do art. He'll be like, Dad, can you get the paints out for me? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he'll just paint up a storm. He loves Bob Ross. He listens to ASMR at night, but he also will put on Bob Ross. He freaking loves Bob Ross. It's my favorite, which is great to sleep to. If you guys need something to go to sleep to, Bob Ross. But we're almost caught up here. Look at this. We're getting close. Literally, it doesn't seem like they've gone through very much in the last almost hour. And they're back. Judge says, Mr. Steele, you can proceed. Mia, were you able to review over the bread? What? Were you able to review over the bread some of your interviews with prosecutors? Oh, break. God, see, I swear these typos really throw me off. Were you able to review over the break some of your interviews with prosecutors? Yes. And you didn't mention any sort of abuse until June 2024? I don't remember the dates. Did you give all your materials to the government? I gave them to my lawyer. They gave them to the government. Look at this one. Steele, in these notes. Oh, Combs of Steele. In these notes, did you raise abuse to the prosecutors? Objection, improper refreshment. Overruled. Did you raise it in January 2024? Definitely not in the first meeting. Mia says, I don't remember each specific meeting, but I definitely didn't raise it at the first meeting. Combs of Steele says, in the next document that you just reviewed, Judge says, just ask her if her recollection is refreshed. Mia says, no, not the Pacifics. Combs of Steel says, you never mentioned any sort of abuse until you hired lawyer Sean Crowley. Mia says, I have no idea when I first mentioned it. Ooh, I don't know. That's pretty good questioning there, because if she can't even remember when she first brought that to their attention, it does seem like she's trying to downplay it, maybe a little. As a juror who may not know anything about this, that would definitely be mildly convincing to me. I have no idea when I first mentioned it, except that it was after I had representation. Steele says, you intend to sue Mr. Combs for compensation? Probably you intended. You want money? Mia says no. How can you say no when you had a $10 million settlement lawsuit? Definitely seems like you're looking for it. Oh, Heidi, you're legit painting right now? That's sick. What do you use, acrylic or something? Yeah, Heidi, what are you painting? That's freaking sick. I have such mad respect for painters because I don't understand color in that way, and I don't have that kind of creative. I feel like I'm definitely creative, just not in that way to like conceptualize something artistic or unique or powerful in any way, or even just artsy. Like, I don't know, but it is fun. I think it's a good release. We definitely enjoy it. We paint a lot with Bodhi. Alan's down to buy it, so yeah, come on, Heidi, what you painting? She's busy. She's in the painting, you guys. Give her a second. Yeah, what are you guys up to? Is anybody else creating something right now? Or a lot of you, what are you guys up to? That's what I want to know. Who have you worked for since? She worked for Madonna. For how long? 8 months, from April 2019. When you did that, did Mr. Combs assist you in getting that job? Absolutely not. Combs of Steel says, so you were not blacklisted? No. Steele says, no retribution? Mia says, he took away the TV show, the credit I was promised. You told the jury you were surprised you were let go, right? I did. You were let go for drinking? No. We're not going to know what she was let go for? What's going on here? You remember Miss Ventura's video called Official Girl? Yes. And King of Hearts? And her song with Nicki Minaj, The Boys? Yes. And Nicki Minaj is well known? Yes. And Miss Ventura did the song Numb with Rick Ross? She did. And I Love It with Fabulous? Yes. And do you remember Miss Ventura being in studio Kid Cudi? I don't remember the Pacifics. And Mr. Combs himself? Yes. The TV show you mentioned, was it to be about? What was it to be about? God, why do I suck? My experience. The TV show you mentioned was supposed to be about your experience. Doing what? Being a personal assistant? How a person from a small town dealt with a person such as Mr. Combs? She says a comedic version. I guess that would be kind of funny. That would be super funny, actually. You're building a miniature house? What? That's so cool. Building learning material for addiction counselors and the community as a whole. I love that. Man, I was trying to go to be an addiction counselor. That was the job. Well, I was trying to work at an addiction center, but they said that my felony in my past kept me from getting the job. And I was like, don't you think that would be helpful? Like, that's like almost like resume building material for an addiction center. Like, I've been to jail. I've done the things. Like, I can relate with these people. I would have thought it would be great, but apparently not. So I was like, well, what can I do that doesn't involve an employer? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, there's really not much aside from like low paying jobs, but I didn't want to do that. It's hard from making like corporate money to not making corporate money. Yo, you so random, sup sobers. Power and numbers together, we are beautiful. You guys, I love that you guys are creating stuff. The miniature house is cool. My girl loves mini stuff. Kim literally is obsessed with miniature anything. I just noticed all the glass. When I took the kids to the playground, and I was like, what can I do? an artist in all mediums except painting. My son went to school for art, but I feel like you said something earlier that I missed. Kim does these really cool. Oh, I'm definitely sober today, which is great. I'm happy to be able to say that. That's the only chip I have, my 24-hour chip. Keep it on my keys. Rides with me. Ride or die chip. Because that's the only day that matters. That's what they say, man. Just today. Who is sober? That is a good question. I love that I get a lot of non-sober viewers, but I also love that I get a lot of sober viewers, like more than I thought, which is cool. The community is strong and it grows every day. Which may not be... There's a song by Jelly Roll. I can't remember what it's called, but it's talking about like feeling shame going to an AA meeting. But yeah, I mean, it's sad that that's kind of how you have to enter it. You go to some meetings, shit sucks for a while, and then it gets better. You missed, I'm building content for addiction counselors in the community. No, I saw that, which is amazing. I think I love that because that's why I was talking about wanting to become an addiction counselor, because I was going to work at the center and then go back to school to get my master's so I could be an actual counselor. Because there's a lot of those jobs out there, honestly. If you guys are looking for a career field, like there's a shit ton of those jobs out there, at least here in Colorado. There's a need for it. Oh, yeah, I didn't honestly like meetings. The only thing that I ended up liking in terms of meetings was Winning Streak. Thank you, Crystal. That's totally what it's called. It's a great song. If you guys don't know it, it's a really good song. Writing a murder mystery based on real-life events. That sounds sick. You're a writer, huh? That's cool. Well, definitely let me know when it comes out because I'll definitely read it. One of the few books I'll read. Gotta support the homies. What was I saying? I was saying something else. Oh yeah, smart recovery. That's what I was going to say. I did not like AA, like at all. I hated it. It was really uncomfortable. It did not make me want to quit drinking. It made me, I was like, if this is what I have to look forward to, these really sad white knuckly AA meetings and like this shitty coffee, like, I can't, this is not going to work for me. And then my therapist at the time was like, oh, well, have you heard of smart recovery? And I was like, no, I haven't heard of it. She's like, well, I've had other patients or clients tell me that they really enjoyed this more than the AA meetings. Maybe you should try it. So I did. There was there was 2 meetings in my city. Now there's only one. And so glad I went to that meeting. Changed my life. Because it's not really about we rarely talk about like people's story or like negative stuff. It's always like we do a check-in, tell how your week was, and then we go right into like a topic for the week. And it's usually like character building or some way of like reframing your mindset on things, or it's like life coaching more than it is sobriety. It's like sobriety training because it's your lack of life skills and your lack of coping skills and possibly your altered mindset after years of being addicted to a substance that end up changing your viewpoints, and then you're unable to see life differently. And it's only until you retrain your brain and like relearn life again that you're able to like phase that part of it out. And so I feel like that's what SMART did for me, is it taught me how to like live my life as opposed to just like get rid of a substance. And I feel like that's what AA is all about, is like, it's all about like, you need to do this and you need to follow this step and you need to do this so that you can beat this habit because this is the only way to do it. And I did not like that. I don't feel like there's any only way to do anything. So I don't know. That was me. If you guys are interested, there's Smart Recovery online too. So you don't even have to leave your house. You can join meetings online and they're just as helpful. And they've got like a little workbook you can work through. It's got some really like useful educational, what am I trying to say? Like little activities for you to do. So Susan, sup sorbets? That's great. My cousin's wedding was awesome. It was so much fun. Her and her fiance, or I guess now husband, have been dating for like 11 years. So it's been a long time coming. Chris he's basically already assumed to be the husband, but yeah. We had a lot of fun. The party was great. The wedding was great. It was right next to this little river in Silverthorne. It rained all day up until the wedding. And Kim was like, watch, every wedding I've been to, it rains and then clears up for the wedding and then starts raining again. And that's exactly what happened. Sharon, sober for 4 years. That's freaking great. I feel like after the third year, it started to feel more like solid for me. It started to feel like okay, this is just my life now, and I accepted it. But that first year, I did a lot of distracting myself from wanting to drink, basically, just like doing anything I could to stay away from it. Dang, you so random. 18 years, 18 years clean up in EN. What is that in? What do you mean in EN? But that's sick. 18 years. That's freaking dope. You just graduated high school, basically, with your sobriety. Rico or Rika? Oh, that's what I thought you were trying to say. Up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Straight up, we were talking about DMX earlier. We've come full circle, you guys. Okay. Back to we've almost caught up here. We're getting close. That's why I stopped doing the long live streams. And I feel like they move so slowly. I'm sick of waiting around for them. Okay, we know what the TV show is going to be about. A comedic version of her dealing with Diddy, which honestly would be kind of funny, especially if Dave Chappelle was involved. Combs to Steele, what other films do you work on? She says, Dope, Lawless, Undefeated. Steele says, you enjoyed the projects? Yes. And you called The People a second family? We all called it that. That's probably because you guys all, that's what a family would say, right? You thought that Mr. Combs was a genius? At the time. You wanted to continue to work with Mr. Combs, right? She says, I wanted to continue following my dream. I'm assuming, do you know if Mr. Combs' company put more money into promoting Miss Ventura than any other of its artists? I didn't absorb everything. Who is Jason Wiley? He worked for the record label. In budgeting, right? Do you recall being given the opportunity to have your therapist's notes be seen by the parties? Objection. Sidebar. Let's do some shots. Oh, damn. So we already caught up. At least to 10 minutes ago. Okay, back from taking shots. Judge is wasted. You never called law enforcement, right? Mia says, I did not. Steele says, you said when you were stopped while speeding in LA, Mr. Combs got you out of it. You remember? I do. Did you ever think of calling anonymously? No. That's crazy. Diddy got her out of a speeding ticket? He's like, nah, man, come on, I got a video of you. Just don't give her a ticket. Hang on, I haven't heard from the creeps upstairs in a minute. I'm gonna go check on them. I'll be right back. I'm gonna scroll down so you guys can read a little further if you want to. Calling anonymously about what? Calling Diddy anonymously? What? I am glad that Bodhi has a friend. It's kind of cool. My work is super freaking dope. I'm stoked to shout them out on the channel eventually, but they're like, you need to wait until our website's ready, which is what I do most days, is update the website. But anyways, my boss lets me bring Bodhi in with me all the time, and because she brings her kids in, and they're about the same age. I think they're both 6 now, and they just love hanging out. But before that, it's like, it's hard to get kids to like hang out together. Like maybe they'll meet some kids at school, but like how often are you doing sleepovers and like the stuff that we did as kids? Like they never do that shit. They don't have any friends, and if they do, they just play on Roblox online. So it's cool that they have each other to hang out with, and they do boy stuff. They beat each other up and like have sword fights and shit. It's really cool. When you say Mr. Combs hurt your arm, did you seek medical help? No, I would not have been allowed. Did you take photos? No. Did you scream? No, I was in shock. I don't know, dude. I really do feel like Brian Steele is doing a great job now. I feel like before he was kind of wasting a lot of time, but I feel like he's doing a pretty good job now of making her look not so credible. Like, as somebody who knows nothing about this Mia chick or what happened in the testimony on Friday, I guess that probably plays into it too, because I didn't see what the prosecution said. Yeah, and honestly, I don't even know, like, unless I really knew the parents anymore. Like, for Bodhi's birthday, one of the parents that we literally have never met before, have no idea who her kid is, they were asking if we were doing, like, if they were cool to sleep over. I'm like, oh, we're not doing, like, a sleepover. Like, I would never let my kids stay at a parent's house that I've never met. Jess's house, we've let Bodhi stay over there, but because she's my boss, and I know her, trust her. But that's rare anymore, right? I drive around a lot, and no matter the time of day, I hardly ever see kids outside anymore. It makes me genuinely happy when I see neighborhoods with kids nowadays. Yeah, I know, right? Because, like, I honestly get nervous letting Bodhi go out front because all I talked about or listened to before I started doing the more conspiracy stuff was true crime cases, and the amount of kids that get picked up just because they're easily accessible and outside is pretty crazy. Boo.
Can you open this for me, please?
Yeah.
I can have some dad tax if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to take some dad tax, but Trump's lowering taxes, so it might not be as much.
There you go, you got some
Pretty
dad
good.
tax.
Pretty good stuff.
Okay.
Tastes like Starburst.
Yep.
Did you get something for Kai?
He got a cotton candy drink. I told him to try it. And he
Nice.
likes it now.
Okay, nice.
I also told him when we got it.
Oh, yeah, at the Dollar Tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe they have delicious cotton candy soda full of sugar there. It's crazy, huh? Okay, you guys are being super loud. Let's see, what else can you guys do?
Well, Bodhi doesn't want to put it.
You guys want to do some painting?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Your fight.
Oh, yeah, why don't you go get the Nerf guns set up? They're in Bodhi's closet.
Okay.
But just remember, you got to clean up your mess when you're done. Don't shoot each other in the face.
Yes, ma'am.
He just said, yes, ma'am. Yeah, there is a playground, but so Bodhi's been grounded from his iPad for 5 days because, well, he kept pushing Mom last night, and so she grounded him for 5 days. He's been trying to earn his iPad back, and I think not having it, like, if they had their iPads, they probably wouldn't even be on them, but now that they don't, they're, like, freaking out. So, yeah, and they really want to play on the PlayStation, which is understandable because we have 2 now, so they can play online if they want, but I can't cave like that, you guys. Following through as a parent is important, is what I've been told. So I'm trying to follow through here. And I didn't even make these rules. Kim is the one that grounded him, so I can't just go behind her back and I can't ruin it all. He was really mean to her last night. And then she gave him 5-second countdowns and was like, okay, that's 1 day off your iPad. And did that 5 times before he finally was like, okay, fine. And she was just asking him to brush his teeth. So Oh my God, it really is. Like, it's not fun for me either. But you know what? BMX Chelsea, you're 100% right. It's just the way it's just what life is now. The tablet thing is hard. I stress about that. I just watched a documentary about the tablet thing and how kids are horribly addicted to it, and it leads to other addictions. It's almost like a gateway drug because they're already predisposed to addiction from being exposed to addiction at 5 years old. Like we talk about every week on this channel, 5 years old is when kids start developing and like turning into who they're going to be for the rest of their lives. And the tablet being introduced at 5, and I'm not saying I'm not guilty of this. I think our kid had a tablet when he was like 3 years old. It was like obviously the little kid, like Amazon tablet, but still. And yeah, I mean, look at us. We're just on our phones too. Although I feel like we do more, I don't know. I spend a lot of time on my phone. My phone just told me the other day, yesterday or the day before, that my average screen time is 7 hours, which is quite a bit. I mean, I'm full-time jobbing it on the phone. But that's the other thing is I am actually doing my work on my phone a lot of the time, researching shit, listening to videos, listening to people's opinions on stuff. While I'm looking at Diddy updates, like, honestly, I spend a lot of time responding to comments. And I know you guys are like, what, you never respond to my comment? But yeah, I'll scroll for like a while until I find I'll just stop randomly and then I'll just respond to as many as I can before I have to go do whatever I'm doing. Like if I'm in line or something, or waiting to pick up Bodhi at school, although that's not happening anymore. I just take any second I can and try and respond. Plus, you guys leave the nicest comments. Seriously, literally the best. Most of you guys. Some people out there, I'm just like, you're just trolling me, but it doesn't affect me that much. The did you scream question was kind of funny to me. It's such a weird question. Before the 5 days you say you were awake. I thought she said she was only awake for 1 day, but did you ever stay awake that long? Absolutely not. You testified you would give up all of the money if there had not been any abuse. Any discussion that you will make money by testifying? Nope. No, that's not even a thing. Yeah, it definitely is a thing. But like, you obviously wouldn't say that's the thing. You would just say that I'm trying to do this to get justice. That's a good point. They just think I'm just doing this for fun. Plus, we have the We Subscribe channel. They're always asking me to make a We Subscribe video. I'm like, dog, I wish I could make a We Subscribe video right now. That means I have time to kill. And Uncle Haas is here, which is my favorite time of the year, when Uncle Haas hangs out. I was sad when he moved to Denver, but that's a good call. Thank you, Time to Heal. I appreciate that advice. I'm going to do that. Oh my God, yeah, the comments section blows up fast, and I feel like it's good, and I get a lot of info out of the comments too, because there's a lot of people that have watched other videos besides the ones that I've seen, so they get other information that I might not have even seen, or they'll bring up people that they're like, this case reminds me of this, and it's like, oh, sick, like I've never even heard of this person. 9 times out of 10, I've never heard of this person, because I'm not, like, I love underground music, I'm a hipster at heart, I don't watch the news. I don't really watch mainstream movies. Now I kind of do because I have a kid. Like we watch Minecraft movies and like those kind of movies. But like I don't keep up to date with anything. I was the last person to know about COVID. Literally I was like, wait, why is work shutting down? They're like, yeah, you haven't heard about the pandemic? I was like, no, man. Like, what's going on? I'll never forget that. I was so out of the know. I was like, I have no idea, bro. That's crazy. Cool. We're going to get some time off from work? Hell yeah. And then turns out Enterprise was essential. Why? I don't know. They said if a doctor or somebody needs a rental, then we're essential, which was sick. I got paid same wages to do nothing. Now, Nirvana, I'm doing one on Kurt Cobain, which will obviously involve Nirvana. Sublime, I'm not familiar with. Is there something I need to know about Sublime? DJ Harris, also welcome in, fellow DJ. But, I mean, the answer is yes. I'll add it to my list. April 26th, 1992. The Heath family thing was weird, yeah. They almost made it seem like they were trying to be like, we told you so. We told you were doing the wrong thing. What up, I Hate Thug? Humans weren't made for tech, for sure. Honestly, I feel like humans weren't made for anything that we're doing nowadays. Like, the amount of things we accomplish in a day compared to the amount of things they accomplished back in the day, like, it's just astounding. Like, the amount of things we have to keep track of is pretty wild. But one could argue that we've evolved to be able to accommodate this. So I don't know. David Shapiro died in a plane crash in my city like 2 weeks ago. Really? Way involved in some of these stories. So it keeps making me think, whoa, that's wild. Whitney, I've already done. Jim Morrison was up next, but then I realized I had to do the Diddy stuff, and the Jim Morrison one seemed a little bit deeper. Although it doesn't matter how deep I think they are always fucking deep. But I'm adding this to my list because I didn't know about David Shapiro. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know shit. The Shapiro name gets thrown around a lot, but Jimi Hendrix for sure. Jimi Hendrix, I think, was definitely taken out by his lawyer, which is pretty wild. Same kind of thing as Michael Hutchence. That seemed to be a thing back then. What, this song, April 29th, 1992, April 26th, 1992, who are you talking about? Listen to the song. Who's it by? By Sublime? I never really liked Sublime, so I haven't listened to much of their music, but I do appreciate them. They're like, the Smoke Two Joints is a classic. Looked like a terrorist attack. The jet fuel burned 2 blocks worth of cars. Whoa. That's pretty crazy. Rodney King, that's a good one. Yeah, the Diddy stuff is wild. Like, some of the stuff they talk about, I'm like, this is real life? This is really what happened? This is crazy. Look up that song. I'm doing it right now. Oh, yeah, it is a Sublime song. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. In its lyrics, instead of the date and the title, they mention, the song is April 29th, 1992. But the song actually says April 26th, 1992 in the lyrics. This discrepancy is due to a mistake by the lead singer, Bradley Noel, but the recording was so strong that the band decided to keep it. Okay, sure. The 1992 LA riots, which the song references, began on April 29th, 1992, after the acquittal of 4 white police officers. Yep, I remember that, with the Rodney King thing. However, the riots continued into April 26th. What? Spreading across the country. I think AI messed up there. This date marks a significant day during Los Angeles riots, although the riots started on April 29th, 1992. Yeah, well, this isn't Grok. This is just the Brave AI. And yeah, it probably is just feeding me a story, that's for sure. That's what that's always good for. It'll gather all the most popularized information and compile it for you. So AI is only useful sometimes. I've got my Sobering Stories assistant pretty well trained, so he helps me quite a bit, but Grok and AI will lie to you. Yeah, no, they just compile all the most likely information, like the top searches, probably the most referenced information that tracks with other referenced information. It's like, oh, this has to be the truth, but it doesn't fucking know. Doesn't know. You have to take AI with a grain of salt, you guys. Elon probably does have business deals with him, with everybody. Elon's insanely powerful at this point. It's crazy, but he's also doing a lot of crazy work with technology, which I think is pretty wild. So it makes you wonder what they're bringing him in for. Like, think of some of the technology that Elon Musk has brought around. Like, the Tesla cars are pretty scientifically insane. They're, like, pretty futuristic. Like, no other cars have kept up with what they're doing. What is the ship that he has? The Starship? That shit is insane to me. Have you guys seen videos of it taking off and then re-landing? Absolutely insane. So, I mean, some of the technology that he's doing, think about what he can do if he's now declassified. He's top security clearance. I'm definitely going to look into this. This is super interesting to me. I don't think it's just a mistake. They're not just going to keep it in. They can re-record. How many times do they record when they're in the recording studio? You don't just record it one time and you're like, oh, we fucked it up. We got one time. That's it. That's not how that recording studio works. Doesn't even make sense. Okay, definitely going to look into that because that's interesting. But wait. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to ask. I'm sure Elon has a lot of business deals with different countries because he's got all the Teslas and all the patents that he owns. And I don't know what he's doing deals with in government. I don't even really know what else he's in charge with. It seems like his role is ever evolving. Let's see. Let me refresh this because we probably got some new stuff going on. It's a really good song. I'm going to check it out for sure. I would play it here now, but it'll copyright this video so quick. And then I'll have to cut it out. I don't like cutting things out. It just seems... I don't like cutting anything out. My dog is destroying his toy right now. No, that's not even a thing. Your Honor, can I set up those other matters? Yes, we'll break for that. Okay, so they took a break. They're back. Steal. Nothing further. They finally... They come back and he's like, nope, we're good actually. Have any of you guys heard of Basquiat before this? I know somebody has because last week when we were talking about it, somebody had told me how to pronounce it, which I'm really grateful for because then I was able to pronounce it in my video the entire time. And also looking into him, I had no idea. You know how many times I've looked at that picture of the 27 Club, that graffiti art that's painted? I don't know where it's at, but that graffiti art that has all the main 27 Club people like Amy and Kurt and Jim Morrison and somebody else. But he is on that wall, and I had no idea. I've looked at that photo so many times. Music reaction videos too. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I was thinking about doing something else live because the Diddy stuff has been fun and I could definitely go live during the week. Just need to figure out what else. I'll probably go live during the Brian Kohberger trial. I know it doesn't have anything to do with, well, maybe it does. I don't know. It's so far, we don't know anything, but it doesn't seem to have anything to do with, well, here we go. The girls were wasted when it happened. We'll just say that, but it can now end up on Sobering Stories. But I feel like the Brian Kohberger trial is going to be pretty wild. And super interesting. I don't know if you guys keep up with that stuff. I'm pretty sure Jimi Hendrix was part of the club. Pretty sure he's on that picture. Nick Carter trial? What? That's actually, that's a thing right now? What? BMX cluing me in, dude. I haven't thought about the Carters in a while. I got really Cartered out because that was my first big video, and I feel like I was like all over the comments and got a lot of information, and then my feed's been blown up with Aaron Carter, but I have not kept up. Nothing Nick Carter's popped up on my feed, which I'm kind of... What am I typing? I'm just reading your name, typing it. I've never seen any of this Nick Carter stuff. I was hoping something mainstream would pop up first, but... You know what else I came across in my research recently, you guys? Kevin Spacey's accuser up and self-exited out of nowhere. Did you guys know that? Yeah, I know, right? I was like, what? Yeah, Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys. It's Aaron Carter's brother. Fourth lawsuit? What? You guys remember that video from the Aaron Carter episode? He goes, my brother, who's a grapist. That's literally what he says. So, and I believe Aaron Carter. Like, I don't feel like he has any reason to lie to me. Like, I really don't. Like, what does he have to what does he have to lose? Nothing. The poor guy did not have shit to fight for at this point. Okay, here we go. Time to Heal says, April 26th, 1992, there was a riot on the streets. You were sitting at home watching your TV while I was participating in some anarchy. That's funny. So it actually started on the 26th, 1992, but they didn't say it started until the 29th. Is that the weird part about it? Maybe I did put that video in there. Him beating him up and closing the door. I know that Nick did not like Aaron. They did not seem close. He did not go back to his sister's funeral. He's not a very good brother. Which kind of sucks because I always liked Nick Carter because we have the same name and he was in Backstreet Boys, which I loved. So, I don't know. Oh, really? Insinuates that he did something shady to his little brother too. That honestly could be true. Could be Nick's fault that he even got involved in whatever he got involved in the first place. Yeah, I know, right? The family's messed up. The whole family's messed up. The fact that they squandered away poor Aaron Carter's funds he worked so hard for. That's truly fucked up. I would never do that to Bodie. But he would have to pay some dad tax, I'll tell you that. Yeah, see, I said that too in my video. I said Aaron was more successful than Nick, and everybody freaked out. They're like Backstreet Boys sold more albums, and I think that might be true, but I also feel like they've got a longer standing career. Like they continued touring a lot longer. They've also sold more records because they've been around longer. But Aaron Carter sold more quick, like faster. Like he overnight sold millions of albums and like went overnight platinum. And the Backstreet Boys kind of died when Aaron came into play. So even though they may ultimately have sold more, I feel like the image of what happened, like people aren't judging you based on how many records you sold. They're judging you based on how they perceive things are happening. I don't know. I always wonder that. I feel like the H with the E on the end is like the English way to spell it or something. I really don't know. I also thought it meant female hero if you added an E. Okay, sorry. Back to this because I'm curious what the F they're going for here. Because now it's prosecution recrossing. As part of that, did you post on your personal Instagram account? Yes. What did Mr. Combs do if he thought you were not doing your job? I'd be yelled at and humiliated. Did other employees also post for Mr. Combs' birthday? Yes. The birthday video, was it for Club Diddy? Yes. Did Mr. Combs co-own the water you were drinking and did you say Revolt, the project you worked on at the end? Yes. You posted about the good, not the bad times? Yes. That's what social media is for, Brian, or prosecution. We only post about the good times. Kai, what are you doing? Damn, they're moving slow. Why did you want to make the person who did this to you happy? When he was happy, I was safe. Were you worried about your physical safety? Yes, I'd been abused by Puff before. I knew his wrath. Did you engage a pro bono lawyer? Yes. So she tried to go pro bono first, but probably because she didn't have money to do a real one. All right, here, you guys, let's go upstairs and find something to play with for what? We got maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. Come on, you guys. Hey, guys, come on. Okay, and we're back. Thank you guys for understanding that the dad life is real. And time, I wanted to tell you straight up that advice was amazing because they listened. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I wish I knew more about coding. That's one thing I wish I went to school for. In retrospect, knowing that my degree literally didn't help me at all. I mean, I'm pretty good at marketing stuff. I'm pretty good at the marketing side of things. That's what my degree is in, but I mean, not super helpful. Yeah, family first, always. I mean, that's the whole reason I'm even doing this, for the family, so I can be home more, so I can not hate my job all the time and be pissed off at the world, because I hated working at Enterprise. Dude, I'm not a corporate. I can't do it. I knew that going into it, but I was like, this is what people do, man. Just try it out, see. And then I realized that I'm just working for somebody else's dream, not mine, and I was sick of doing that shit. So if you guys are in the same boat, I highly recommend. Getting fired from Enterprise was the best thing that ever happened to me, especially because I could claim unemployment. But yeah, honestly, definitely the best thing that happened to me, because I got a chance to reevaluate and rethink what I wanted out of life. And I feel like I'm on a much better path. This is much more enjoyable. I feel like I'm able to help the way I want to help. And also, every single week, I learned so much. I was already predisposed to conspiracy stuff every 9/11. Hell yeah, DJ Harris. Well, and yeah, you guys keep me motivated too, because every week I'm like, shoot, I love that there's so many people that also love this stuff, that feel like it's super interesting and don't believe what they're told. The news media is nuts. We already passed all this. Oh, that's why. Here we go. Why did you meet with the government so much? I love when they call them the government. So my story could be understood. Why were you terrified? Of Puff and the repercussions? Did the government tell you you wanted to want to say what? Did the government tell you what to say? Okay. No, only to tell the truth. Prosecutor Smizer says, how do you feel about public speaking? Terrified. Can you explain that? Everybody's terrified of public speaking. Can you explain that, given that you've been in comedy? I had Puff's permission for that. Any comparison to testifying about Mr. Combs assaulting you? Here? None. Okay, sounds like they're almost done with this one. Who's the next witness? They'll probably call it for the day, though. I highly doubt they're going to start a next witness for 45 minutes, maybe. MSM. MSM. I feel like I know what that is, but now I don't. Permanently disabled from Pfizer number 2? Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't doubt it, though. I've seriously, I had that, I think you guys heard about it from the Bob Saget one with my guy Jim. Jim was a character, man, but he definitely didn't deserve that. But also, he kept doing it. I was like, how are you not seeing the correlation here? Like, you get the booster, and you immediately end up in the hospital, like, every time. I'd rather just get COVID at that point. Oh, mainstream media. Duh. See, I was like, I know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. Mainstream media is nuts. It's crazy. And I love that, like, depending on what broadcast you're listening to, they could be super right-wing, super left-wing. Like, they're obviously working for somebody. But they're also just, like, different sides of the same coin, because it all goes back to the same origin. Who knows where the actual news is being pumped from? Who knows who's controlling the actual news narrative? But I think we know. Old geezer coders. Yeah, I know. That's why there's so many hackers out there, because all the hackers can bust into shit because it's all old. And the hackers, or the people that work for these companies that set this stuff up, can't keep up with the updated technology in the younger community. Like, there's new ways coming out all the time to hack into stuff. New technology updated to bypass, just like with viruses. Everybody's terrified of public speaking. We didn't check any other. I think I pulled this one up today, but I haven't checked anything else today. I feel like it's honestly been really boring. I've kind of gotten an idea of what the defense is trying to do. I don't know. I really don't know. I can definitely understand that she would be scared to come forward, but at the same time, it does seem a little sketchy that she did not come forward first things first with the lawyer she was talking about. Her, like, what was her civil lawsuit for? Like, shitty working conditions and like mistreatment as an employee, and she was suing for 10 mils. Like, that seems like a lot. Chandra, you love public speaking? I mean, I can totally understand that. I was watching a live stream with Mark Rebier, and he was just answering phone calls. If you guys like Mark Rebier, he's one of my favorites. Literally one of the best human beings on the planet. But he was just taking phone calls, and people were asking him questions, and somebody asked if he gets nervous before each performance. And he's like, yeah, I mean, of course I get super nervous, but I love going out there. So like it's not enough to make me not do it. And once I'm out there, I'm not nervous anymore. I'm like thriving on the energy. So I could see that being a thing too. I feel like that's definitely the case. Think about how quickly your speeches or like any public speaking seems to go by. You're like, holy shit, I feel like that went by so quick. I don't even know what I said. Is that really the most updated information? During cross-examination, defense attorney Brian Steele attempted to argue that Mia timed her disclosure of alleged sexual assault on her by Sean Combs with the civil lawsuit filed against Combs by his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Honestly, that's kind of smart, though, because power in numbers. Steele questioned why Mia, the former Combs assistant testifying under a pseudonym, did not tell federal prosecutors about her claim that Sean Combs allegedly assaulted her until June 2024. 6 months after Mia began meeting with them, and 7 months after Ventura's civil lawsuit was filed. I mean, the timing definitely is interesting. Doesn't mean anything, but she might not have felt safe to come forward until she saw some sort of traction with her civil lawsuit. But also, nothing happened with Cassie's civil lawsuit. It was literally settled a day later. It wasn't until a few months later that they really started to look into Sean Combs and like stuff started coming out in the news. But like when that happened, I don't feel like anything was in the news about the Cassie suit. Did you guys know about her civil lawsuit before, like when it was happening? First podcast you did, you were terrified. Crystal, you have a podcast? You've been holding out on us or what? I mean, I feel like that's a good way to put it. Like, I was terrified. Some people say anxiety is misplaced energy, and it helped me learn to do things like you just said, using that energy on stage and thriving in it. That's a good way to look at it. Anxiety is misplaced energy. That's a good perspective change. I like that. And if you think of it as instead of being nervous, you're like excited. Like, I'm not just nervous. I'm actually excited to get out there. That's why I have all this energy and anxiety built up. I'm just anxious to get it going. Yeah, honestly, I hate to admit it, but I think I do like being the center of attention. I talk a lot. So this is great for me. This is fantastic for me. Sometimes we do think your shit is cryptic, time to heal. Sometimes we wish you'd just come out and say what you mean what you say, because I'm confused sometimes. I definitely feel like you know more about underground things than I do. That's for sure. I can definitely validate you on that. I'm still pretty fresh. I never really dug into this stuff because I was too lazy to do it. I just didn't really care. Like, I'd watch videos and be interested in it, but I would never dig into anything. Oh, they are going to call the next witness. Why are you here today? If not, I couldn't look at my goddaughters in the eye and ever advise them what to do in this situation. Judge, Mr. Steele, any recross? No, sir. Mia, you can go unless you want to stay. Okay, Judge. Real funny, Judge. Next witness. The government calls Sylvia Oken. Where do you work? The Beverly Hills Hotel for 17 years. I'm the director of sales and marketing. How do reservations work? That's a question I wish everybody asked at Enterprise. A system called Opera. This is the second time we've heard about Opera. The first witness, I think, talked about it too. That's true. I think you're right. I wish I could. I mean, how do you tap into other parts of your brain? I definitely need to do that. I try and use all the sides, but I can't tell which one's working and which one's not. I need to meditate more. That's the one thing I do wish I did more that I don't do regularly. And I think it could really help me with my... I have a short fuse for stuff, I think. But I think meditating could definitely help. Power in numbers, 100%. Oh, yeah, wait, where's Crystal's podcast? The Levine Show about vax injuries. Oh, okay, I'm checking it out. Is it on Rumble? Or is it on, well, maybe it's on multiple platforms, but... The day log is dialogue. That must be where it comes from. Jason Levine. I don't care, AI. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. He's got his own website. Well, I'll follow it on Rumble because... Sick. Which one are you on, Crystal? February 15th, 2023. So that would be 2 years ago. So it's down here. Oh, he doesn't put the date on all of them. Okay. Well, I'm following him. I'll go back and listen to it later. I'm going to find it. Do you know which episode it is? He'll be hunting on YouTube. Yeah, is it on YouTube? Rumble, Facebook, here I believe. All right, yeah, let's look for it on YouTube. Yeah, cool. I'll definitely check it out. That's dope. That sounds fun, though, being on a podcast, sharing your story and stuff. Nice, there it is. It's probably over here instead of Rumble. I don't know, sometimes Rumble doesn't have everything. Oh, so all his stuff is live. Dang, yeah, he's got way more up here. Okay, maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to find it. Colon health. I think the list of victims is long, which can also potentially look like a perpetrator, especially when there's fear of, well, anything. Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure, Chandra. I would definitely agree with that. There's so many witnesses, it's actually crazy. He turned victims into pawns with blackmail. 100%. Tons of victims, but they are silenced. Yeah, and I mean, even Gina got settled with, so who knows how many other people aren't even here to tell their story because of it. Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? He just literally opens up about all that stuff in that interview with Audie. And I wish that people believed more of what he has to say, because honestly, and it still makes me mad that they're like, okay, yeah, the Diddy stuff was true, but that's it. Everything else was stupid. Elizabeth said something I'm going to go back and look for. I don't see it. Holistic health is great. Honestly, That's one thing I could do better about, is taking care of my body with, like, I think eating better is probably the one thing I could do better. I definitely eat a lot of snacks. Who's the next witness? I want to know. I wonder what they're doing upstairs. It sounds wild. Next witness. Government calls Sylvia Oken. Okay, that's literally it. Don't drink liquid death. To be fair, we actually drink Topo Chico more, but they don't sell that everywhere. I think it is. I don't think I've set it to anything. Community moderation. I don't want to do this. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, there is basic moderation, but I mean, I can change it to none. I don't really give a shit. Oh, yeah, I guess there were. Hold potentially inappropriate messages. The only reason I put those on there is because the comments can flag my videos, and if it gets demonetized because of something dumb like that, I'm gonna be real mad. Because that happens. See, look at all this. Limited. It's mostly the Diddy videos that do that. Kim Porter, Isaac Cappy, of course. I'm thinking about doing another Cappy episode. Number one, he deserves it. Cappy's a hero. Number two, I found out more information since that episode, so there's things I can talk about. And number three, that one got limited. It's like age restricted. Whoops, where is it? Got age restricted. And it has that stupid self-exit warning on it, so like you really have to want to watch this video to go find it. You have to like search for it. And it's still gotten 30,000 views, which I think is great, because it literally had like 300 before I started gaining more popularity. So, I don't know, it just deserves more love. But I might do another one, because Cappy was onto some interesting stuff, and he talked about more people than what we talked about in that video. Oh, yeah, Forever Chemicals. I've heard about that. That's definitely what I've heard, and I've heard that about Prime, too, and I used to drink a lot of Prime, but that was before I found out it was a Logan Paul and, like, Jake Paul and what's that dude's name? KS or I can't remember his name. The black guy with that terrible rap song. Oh, yeah. Cappy's Switch definitely looks like on Diddy's sauna rooms. That's interesting. I found that Switch video. It's from this like Disneyland style place in Turkey, and that's one of the bathhouses there. But that bathhouse doesn't look like that normally, so it has to be like at a point where it's not open to the public or something, after hours maybe. Kind of weird, but it does kind of look like his it definitely looks like his fuck, what was I saying? ADHD, dude. Lose my train of thought. Sauna rooms, yes, thank you. What did I just click on? Every time I do a video, I change my background on my computer accidentally, because when you choose a picture, like right underneath add to photos is make desktop picture, and I always click that. End up with some weird desktop photos. Yeah, I know. Who has a sauna room? Pff, I wish. Joe Rogan has a sauna, but not a room. Shit, I would have an actual sauna. A whole room being a sauna? That's kind of wild. That's like a gym. Oh my god, we've only gotten in In 13 minutes, we've gotten one update. We got, does Opera link a customer's alias to their real name? Yes. In this one, who is it really? Sean Combs. Can a guest change his or her alias? Yes. So when you book a room, you can say that you're Frank Black, but you still have to disclose your actual information, right? Yeah, Joe has a deprivation tank too. It makes me want to do that. They have a place here in Manitou close to where I live that actually does that. I really want to try it. Be a really good way to meditate, especially if you had that shit in your house. Yeah, Joe Rogan, dude. I wonder if he Wim Hofs as much as he says he does. Have you guys ever done that, the Wim Hof thing? Dive into some cold water, cold plunge. God bless, that shit's terrible, but... That's so funny. Honestly, it might be because of her, like, subconsciously, but I just started saying that because I think it's hilarious how many nicknames he has. But I definitely do listen to BJ Investigates. I've been listening to her before I even got onto YouTube. She was one of my favorites. I listened to a ton of her stories, and then she started changing a little bit, covering different stuff, and it was even more interesting. Like, she got way more serious, and she's, like, huge. The fact that she was on an HBO special was crazy to me, but she's hilarious. The thing I like most about her is that she has a law degree, so she can break down some things that I literally have no idea about. And she breaks it down in a way that, like, normal people like us can understand and, like, be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. The sauna with the sun table, a little bit classy if you ask me. Yeah, the sun table is pretty wild. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. What kind of, like, what do you do in that bathhouse? Like, that's what I want to know. What's the point? Especially being, if it really is at that, like, Disneyland place, what the hell is the point? Is it like some Waterworld thing? That's true. Understanding the law is definitely key, and nobody does. I mean, very few people know the law. I'm not any better. I don't know the law. I know the laws that I broke, but even that, I don't know the actual laws. I feel like the law is so crazy, and they just keep updating it to, like, new precedent, changes weekly, monthly. It's crazy to me. I do love my lawyer. He was cool. Yeah, the Black Sun was crazy. I didn't personally see that. I saw it in a video, and I was like, it kind of does resemble the Black Sun. And then it was even weirder that then the like, album artwork kind of matched. That shit was wild. She gave up her license to do YouTube. You have to give up your license? You can't just keep it? I guess you just have to keep renewing it or something, huh? Pro Se who understands the law. Did you watch my Pro Se episode that I did about Quentin Nixon? He's this dude that represented himself, and literally the way that he was, like, I feel like he did a pretty good job defending himself, even though he still got convicted, but that was an interesting one. And he seemed to definitely understand the law, which is kind of cool. Lawyers are paid. Lawyers do whatever they're told because they're paid to say that. They don't give a shit. They're paid to not, like, actually care and just, I mean, prosecutors maybe, but the defense attorneys, they really don't care. My defense attorney literally said that to me. He's like, I don't really care what my client is accused of, like, whether they did it or didn't. He's like, it's a paycheck and everybody deserves a defense. I'm like, that's cool, man. That's what she said. That's funny. Yeah, lawyers can have their law degrees taken pretty quickly, that's for sure. You guys watch Better Call Saul? It's one of my favorite shows. The show's great. It's a little slow for most people, but I really enjoy the lawyer banter and, like, the lawyerness of the show. Let's see. How is this paid for? It's to T. Fletcher at Bad Boy, paid by Amex of Sean Combs. What's this? The folio or bill for room 259. What's this? A $500 charge for oil damage. Oh man, that's crazy. How much oil are you guys using? They're like, yeah, we can't even wash these blankets. We just got to throw this shit away. The carpet, we're going to have to just put oil on the rest of it so it matches. I don't know, dude. Oil damage, I know. Suits? Yeah, that was a good show. That one's kind of funny too, huh? I watched that a while ago, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and I feel like anybody that does know the law can definitely play the law, and I feel like people at this level can pay a lawyer to tell them what they can and cannot do. Liquid coffee table liquids. I love how stoked Jonathan Audie was about that. It is interesting. Have you guys ever seen that? Is that a real thing? Yeah, I don't know the law at all, you guys. I guess I know a little bit. I watch a lot of those First Amendment audit videos, so I know a little bit about that, but those are my favorite videos. They're so funny. Those guys literally are so funny to me. Where do we usually go? Sky News. We haven't even checked Sky News today, you guys. Let's see what they got going on. It's crazy how big this trial is, man. Whoops. Usually it's right up here. What happened to that guy's ear? 7 months after his high-profile arrest. This is all not updates. What happened to the live updates? Are they done with court for the day? Is that what's going on? Am I just not seeing it? Yeah, for real. What are they distracting us from? Maybe that's what the whole point of this is. Because they obviously didn't care to reschedule on Cassie Ventura's birthing. Like, they should have rescheduled for that reason alone. Hopefully that baby came out okay. I didn't even check on that. Welcomes third baby with husband Alex Fine. Baby boy, nice. Way to go, Cassie. Way to go, little guy. Way to go, Alex Fine. Well, that's good news, right? Days after the trial. Diddy didn't have much of a presence. Makes you think, is it really him? I'm saying, dude, all those pictures, they don't even look like him. I'm gonna have to watch that. Rotten Mangoes is my favorite, you guys. Replaced with the Organic Matrix. I love that name. That's cool. I love that you watch Rotten Mangoes too. Front page. I saw it on someone's stream that it was mentioned on Sky News page. He pulled up there. No way. What? I believe it though. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm glad that she's doing okay. Hopefully her family's doing good. Glad the freaking baby came out okay. Last I heard, she was having complications with it, so. And we could have all guessed that after sitting on a trial stand. Like, I couldn't even imagine how much stress hormone shit was pumping through her blood. Poor baby, stressed out, freaking out, doesn't know what's going on. No further questions. Cross. The accompanying guest was Cassie Ventura. Yes. Nothing more. Is that a good place to let the jury go for the day? Yes. Okay, jurors. See you tomorrow. The jurors leave. Yeah, I love Rotten Mango. I hope Tupac's really in Cuba too, living as Jamal Millwood and hanging out with so many other people. Literally, they're just Celebrity Island party. Cassie was an adult. She was knowingly there. And honestly, they keep bringing Cassie into it. So if anything else, they're going to list her as a co-conspirator or something. Like a Ghislaine Maxwell. Who knows, man? Who knows? All right, you guys. Well, I would love to chill for a little longer, but since they're done for the day, I'm going to go see what I can do to entertain these kids. And I got to mow this yard. If you guys saw my grass, it's a freaking... We live in the mountains, so it's not really even grass. It's just a bunch of mountain grass and weeds and wildflowers. Yeah, Ghislaine. I had a lot of people comment, that's not how you pronounce her name. Okay. Kind of is spelled that way, though. If you do the soft G. Ghislaine. Meditate in the sunshine, soak it up, time to heal. I'm going to do that. You guys have inspired me since I thought about it. I need to make sure that that's a new practice. I've been drinking tea at night. Tea is good at night. Love you guys, though. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. But stay safe, stay sober. And, yeah, later, sobers.